Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple. One guy's married, one guy is divorced.
Oh, yeah! It is the Odd Couple. I'm Chris Broussard alongside my partner,
Rob Parker.
And we're coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. And boy, do we have a show for you today.
What day don't we have a boy? We got a show for you today.
You right about that.
Am I right?
You right about that. You know what
this
to do.
This is appointment radio,
Keep
my man.
It locked for the next 3 hours, and in less than 30 minutes, we're gonna bring in our man, NBA champion, FS1 NBA analyst Eddie House, to break down all things NBA. So you definitely want to stay tuned and hear that. But how you doing, Rob Parker?
I'm doing just fine, Mr. Chris Broussard. And I do want to say two things real quick. You always say I never represent. I'm always talking about Columbia, and I never talk about Southern Connecticut State University.
Right.
Something like I'm embarrassed that I went to that.
Is that the name of it?
Southern
I
Connecticut
thought it was
State.
Southern Connecticut
No,
Tech.
stop.
Technical State
Stop.
Institute.
No, that ain't it. Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, Connecticut. And look what I have on today.
I see. I thought that was South
You see
Carolina
that?
State
There ain't no
University.
South Carolina. Southern Connecticut State University.
They send you that?
No, I paid for it.
They make them?
Yeah, they make it. It's a real college. So,
It
yeah.
actually is nice. Where you were up there?
No, I just ordered it online. Like, they sent me a
okay.
thing. Of course,
I
it
was
was.
about to say, I know you didn't just roll up in the Nike store and see
It
that.
was 25% off, so I said, okay.
It's
I'll
nice,
get it.
though.
Right?
Did you get your partner one?
No. You wouldn't wear this.
I would.
Would you?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get you a Columbia one when I go to New York.
All right. For real.
Off the sales rack.
Hey, that's all right.
All right.
That's all right.
And the other thing, real quick,
I know
is
you're still trying to make up for those Air Force
no,
Ones.
I ain't doing that. Whatever.
That one is. That's not the good one.
It was like you were trying to make me laugh.
right. We're trying to. That was
Yeah.
good.
You even got cold-blooded, Alex.
I got to make you guys work for it.
And how?
All right,
you
all
know?
right.
Didn't you? Now, Manny's going to come in here, our intern, with those sneakers on, trying to floss. Like
He
you know what I'm
for
saying?
an intern?
For an intern,
He's flossing.
he's flossing big time. What
Yes.
kind of sneakers are those? What are
They
those?
were some special edition Nikes.
Off-white?
Off-whites. But Air Prestos, the Off-White Air Prestos.
He gonna walk in here with those like he's like just chilling, like, man.
Yeah, he said, remember, he was like, yo, y'all becoming correct.
Right.
I need to step up my shoe game and bring my
Well, he did
arsenal
today.
out.
All
Yeah,
right.
he did.
Let's welcome in the Odd Couple crew. Wouldn't be able to do this fine radio program without him. Rob G, of course, our producer. Alex is our engineer. Mr. Steve DeSager is at the anchor desk. He'll keep us updated throughout the program.
Hey, Steve.
Our interns, Manny and Jonah. And, of course, Elijah, our social media guru. They're all on the other side of the glass. Mr. Chris Broussard on this Worship Wednesday. Let's kick some hiney. I didn't want to say it.
Oh, Worship Wednesday.
I was trying to scale it back.
First of all, I'm just glad you remembered that it's Worship
I
Wednesday.
did, because, you know, normally I
Just
get
2
the
weeks in a
days
row.
mixed
yeah,
up.
You usually forget. All right,
Or
that's
I'll do
good.
something. All
We're
right.
off to a good start. All right, Rob, two.
Oh, and I want to
bits.
say one other thing real quick. Sorry. I did announce today on social media that next Wednesday I'll make my debut on FS1's baseball show called Whip Around, and
Yes.
I'm thrilled. So that'll
Very
be,
happy for you.
next Wednesday and Thursday.
You're replacing Pete Rose, right?
No, I'm not replacing Pete Rose. I
Those
would-
would be some big shoes. to
Those
fill.
would be way big,
He
because that was
good.
funny on
He
that
was
show.
good. He was like a poor man's Barkley.
Right. But, yeah, I'm thrilled for the opportunity. So next Wednesday, Thursday, I think next Wednesday we're on at around midnight after soccer or 9 p.m. Pacific. So, yep, very thrilled. Thank you, Fox, for giving me this opportunity.
All right. Well, we can't wait to check you out on MLB Whip Around on FS1. Okay. Let's go to basketball, which is all the rage right now. Of course, the NBA Finals just ended. And now you got the NBA draft coming up tomorrow. And then free agency is going to kick into full swing in about a week and a half or so. 2 bits of news, Rob, got me to thinking.
So are we live now? You didn't mention that. We're live.
Can we do the topic?
I'm sorry. I can't believe we're live. I just looked at this. I was like, I forgot that we didn't.
You're supposed to be engaged.
I'm engaged.
Looking at your phone.
Well, do it live.
Looking at your Twitter.
Do it live.
No, I was looking at this and I realized that we're on live.
All right.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
You've been on live TV for how many decades?
I don't know.
And you all excited about being on YouTube?
All right,
Really?
go ahead. Sorry.
2 bits of news got me to thinking. All right? First of all, the Boston Celtics, who for the last several years have been all the rage in the analytic world.
Danny Ainge is a genius.
Right. Look at how he robbed the New Jersey Nets or
Brooklyn
the Brooklyn
Nets.
Nets
He
at that
robbed them.
time. Got all those draft picks for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce.
2 old players.
10
He fleeced them.
Right. 10 draft picks over the next 3 years, whatever it may be.
They were falling over draft picks in Boston.
Right. And now, with the news that Kyrie Irving is on his way out, and a few people told me today that Brooklyn is essentially a done deal. Like, he's going there, period. And he's trying to convince Kevin Durant to go there with him.
And he can say, KD, you're still in New York. You're still in New York.
He's got a nice sales pitch.
Right?
Number one, they have really restructured their training staff to the point where it's almost twice as big as many of the training staffs in the league.
I think this is a good
They got doctors
point.
from all over the world. And Martin O'Malley, who did the surgery on KD's Achilles, is the Nets team doctor. And look, Rob, with the Knicks looking like it's going to be a cold summer, look, they'll never overtake the Knicks long term. But for a short term, right? They could overtake the Knicks.
I told you this
New
before.
arena, Jay-Z's an owner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could overtake the Knicks for a period. If they get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving,
Oh,
it's
no.
over.
You would be hard to get tickets in Brooklyn.
right.
Let's just
oh,
be
no
honest.
question. And it's a nice arena.
Beautiful arena. If you've never been to Barclays, you want to get there at some point. One of the sweetest things are you can look in off the street, right? Walk and they have you look in
Yeah.
and you can see the score of the game. You can't see
Right.
the court, but you could actually see the scoreboard as you walk by on the street in Brooklyn.
And it's not far from Manhattan. It's
No.
downtown Brooklyn, so it's right across the bridge. But anyway, Kyrie's about to leave Boston. Al Horford about to leave Boston. And so their days of being an Eastern Conference contender, which were a bit overstated anyway, are over, at least for now. And then the second bit of news is that Daryl Morey, the GM of the Houston Rockets,
Genius. Oh, I'm sorry.
the boy genius, the boy wonder, the analytics king, the poster child for analytics.
How many championships? Oh, I'm sorry. That's a different topic.
Right.
Analytics and championships usually don't go together.
First of all, 2 of his 2 stars are arguing, bickering, at odds with one another, James Harden, Chris Paul.
He said it's
and
not true.
And now there are reports that he's interested in getting Jimmy Butler, who, like Carmelo Anthony, like Chris Paul, like Dwight Howard, does not fit into your analytics scheme. So this got me to thinking, Rob, the 2 guys who are the darlings of the analytic world in the NBA, Danny Ainge for hoarding so many draft picks, robbing the Brooklyn Nets, and Daryl Morey for being the king of the analytics. He has a Sloan Conference at MIT every year, all of that. I'm looking at them, and they're both in trouble. Danny Ainge is in trouble because his team is going to be significantly worse next year, and they're no longer an Eastern Conference contender. It's over before it began. And then Daryl Morey is just grasping at straws. Like any little thing I can do to shake up my team. Why are you shaking it up so much? The Golden State Warriors are not going to be what they have been the past few years. Kevin Durant's out the entire season. Klay Thompson's out for the first half at least of the season.
Or even longer.
Probably 2/3 of the season.
Right.
The Western Conference is there for the taking. You have a very good team. I admit some tweaks here and there. But Jimmy Butler, you already got Chris Paul upset because he doesn't want to be a catch-and-shoot guy at the three-point line.
That's not what he
James
does.
Harden won't share the rock. How you think Jimmy Butler's going to fit in? A 34% three-point shooter. You just going to plant Jimmy Butler on the three-point line? I think not. Not to mention, where in the world you getting the money for Jimmy Butler? And it just, like I said, time and time again, Daryl Morey ignores his own analytics and goes out and gets these pieces that don't fit. Not only what he wants to do analytically, but they don't fit together basketball-wise. You and I, did you think the Chris Paul move was a great move for Houston?
Not from minute one.
I mean, he's a great player, but it was like, how's it
You
gonna
looked
fit?
at it
How's
and you
gonna
just said,
work?
okay, I get it. You added another star power, but he doesn't work.
Right.
He doesn't fit. I didn't think it fit.
And for those of
So
you
if it
wondering,
didn't fit, you couldn't commit the money to him.
right. And that money last year, that was obviously a wink handshake deal.
Right. It was
whatever.
already set up.
But for those wondering, okay, how does Boston fit into this analytics craze? Well, over the last 7 years or so, the value of draft picks has been so overstated, it is ridiculous. Okay? I mean, if you get 3 draft picks in a deal, everybody thinks you fleeced the other team. And Danny Ainge, with all the draft picks he's gotten, what do they have to show for it? Yeah, Jason Tatum, great pick. Jaylen Brown, great pick. But outside of that, what do they really have to show for it? They're going to be a playoff team next year? And most lottery picks, Rob Parker, most NBA lottery picks don't pan out. Let alone a regular first or second round pick. Most lottery picks don't pan out. So give me a player who is proven. I'm not saying draft picks don't have any value, but what draft picks, when you get a bunch of them in a trade, what it really does is it enables the GM to sell hope to the owner and buy himself some more time.
100% spot on. And the perfect example is the Celtics in this draft have 3 picks in the first round. And after the first 3 players, who are you talking about? The Celtics won't get anybody that's going to make a difference.
Right.
So having those 3 picks in the first round, really, unless somebody's a diamond in the rough and they show up and wind up being Kyle Kuzma, all right?
Yep.
Then I'll say, wow, okay, they got that. But let me tell you, nobody knows about those 3 guys that they're going to draft and how they're going to fit in with Boston.
And, Rob, you know this. Yeah, you want young players, but you don't want a team full of young players. What if they get 3 guys in there now? Say they're good players. How's that going to fit? Jason Tatum's ready to go into his own. Jaylen Brown's there. Terry Rozier's there.
You just saw what happened last year.
Right. They rebelled against Kyrie.
Right.
You don't think if these young kids might not rebel against them if they deserve some minutes and they're not getting them?
Remember, because they'll say, I was a first-round pick.
Right.
What do you mean? I was a first-round pick in the NBA. I got a guaranteed deal.
It is, I'm telling you, these draft picks, and again, I'm not saying getting a draft pick here or there or getting a draft pick in a deal is a bad thing.
No, not at
But
all.
it is so overstated. Look at Orlando. Look at Detroit. Look at Phoenix. Look at Sacramento. These teams who year after year after year have all these draft picks as they're in the lottery every year, and where are they going? And so, like I said, the GM can go to the owner and say, look, we're not going to win many games now, but we got 10 draft picks over the next 3 years, so we're going to build that up and be great. It buys you time. And that's what it's all about. So I just think analytics, it's been a bad few weeks for analytics. And they're getting their comeuppance because the team that won the NBA title, the Toronto Raptors, they had mid-range basketball. Kawhi Leonard shot mid-range jumpers. The Golden State Warriors shoot mid-range jumpers. So analytics getting its comeuppance. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Have the past 48 hours proven that Daryl Morey and Danny Ainge aren't the geniuses that people say they are. We'll continue the conversation with you next. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
The 2019 NBA season is over.
The Toronto Raptors are NBA champions.
And we're not even going to let the confetti hit the ground. One reason is it's out of the country. Time to move on. The NBA draft and free agency are next. Listen as we give you the latest on Fox Sports Radio.
With the Discover IT Miles card, you can go further than you've ever gone before. Like sun in your face, book in your hand, kids playing in the sand further. Because the Discover Miles card offers unlimited 1.5 miles on every purchase, and they'll automatically match all the miles you earn at the end of your first year. So your 35,000 miles could quickly become 70,000. It's just that easy. Get out there with your Discover Miles card today. Limitations apply. Discover match for new card members only. Learn more at discover.com/travel.
Some job recruitment sites overload your inbox with resumes. Glassdoor knows not just any will do. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. In fact, Glassdoor hires are 30% more likely to stay with your company longer. And Glassdoor can help you find that perfect candidate in half the resumes. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
This is the sound of the 2 new Reese's Lovers Blizzard treats being made at DQ. But it's not what they really sound like. Listen closer. That's the sound of the extra chocolate in the Reese's Chocolate Lovers Blizzard treat. Or maybe more peanut butter is your thing in the Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers Blizzard treat. And whether you pick chocolate or peanut butter, your favorite Blizzard treats just got happier. DQ. Happy tastes good. At participating locations.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Why isn't a burger cheaper when you ask for no onions? I don't want them, so shouldn't you deduct the price of the onions, right? Otherwise, I'm paying for the onions, but I'm not receiving any onions.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
And now, this important message.
Jason Smith and Mike Harmon. They like to do impressions.
Screw you guys. I'm going to watch Big Cavalier.
They like double entendres.
I got 2 big cheeks. I have a big ass.
And they like working together.
You got to change your Twitter handle to Swollen Rocket Man.
Give me the over-under.
You can hear the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon right here.
This is Fox Sports Radio.
Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific.
It's amazing.
On Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio. Now, here's a taste of something that you missed from the Doug Gottlieb Show.
So what the Lakers' newest plan is, maybe this is plan A, maybe this is plan C, maybe this is plan Z. I don't know. But the plan is, all right, we got Anthony Davis, we got LeBron James. Now let's try and go get another superstar. Get rid of every other piece of salary that we have. Right, they're still playing Luol Deng's stretched provision contract. It's like $5 million for the next 3 years, counting next year. And they have like 2 other, Mo Wagner, last year's first-round pick. That, again, if you are going to trade Mo Wagner, it's not because they don't like Mo Wagner. It's because it's a first-round pick. He's got guaranteed money that's on the books, and he might or might not play. Why do you want that? I mean, they're going to need name tags. They're going to need name tags for the first month with the LA Lakers. Wait. Who are you? Like a completely new team. It's fascinating. So should they go after a third star? Yeah. I mean, look, what the hell? You're already in, go all in. Do I think it works? I have no idea. Because I don't know what LeBron has left. I have no idea. There were times last year, even before injury, that he was not moving the way that he used to move. Now, he could make up for it offensively because he's got more skill, more shooting skill than he used to have when he was in Cleveland and definitely used to have when he was in Miami. But he could also make up for other people's weaknesses defensively because he was so crazy athletic back before he was a knockdown three-point shooter. He had this weird step back that he shoots now. But
to get the rest of what Doug said, podcast it by searching The Doug Gottlieb Show. And as always, you can hear the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
All systems are go.
Even though he does the overnights.
With that being said,
this guy is always bringing a ray of sunshine to your day.
You loser.
He's Ben Maller.
That is the celebration of a champion. Hallelujah.
And he's here for you.
It is really all about me.
Oh! It's the Ben Maller Show, and you can listen right here. 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific. On Fox Sports Radio. When it comes to the biggest events in sports.
With the first pick, the New Orleans Pelicans select.
You know this is your home that covers it like no one else.
Because that's the American dream. Now here go the thing.
Every pick, every angle, every opinion. During the draft, you'll get it here with Chris Broussard, Rick Bucher, and Jason McIntyre.
The draft is where the league's future stars are born.
The action starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1.
Please me, baby.
One.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
At Farmers Insurance, we know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle. Bird poop. Drone. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
I was running with the set, running with the set,
All right, you're listening to The Odd Couple, Chris and Rob. We're brought to you by Discover Card because Discover treats you like you would treat yourself, and that's certainly what you want from a business. All right, we threw it out to you. Analytics, is it getting its comeuppance with the unraveling of the Boston Celtics and the panicking of the Houston Rockets? Daryl Morey and Danny Ainge, two guys who are viewed as geniuses. They're good GMs, but they're viewed as like the best in the game, which I think that's a little overrated.
I would just say Danny Ainge and his 3 first-round picks in the draft plus 250 will get you on the New York subway. That's all. That's about
right. You're right. All right, let's hear what you think. 877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. Let's start with John in Orlando. John, welcome to The Odd Couple.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Enjoy your show as always.
Thank you, John.
You brought me in talking about my Magic, man, and it's like Rod Hennigan that was down here before. Those guys think they're the smartest guys in the room, and I know we had a chance to get Boogie Cousins, but he didn't want to get him. And the same thing with the analytics. It still comes down to basketball. When you say analytics and you look at Golden State, well, one reason it works is because you got two of the best shooters ever to play basketball.
Right.
That's not analytics. That's because you got two great shooters. So they put it on this thing, and I agree with you. We're down in Orlando. We've had bucket loads of picks.
Right.
Bucket loads of picks, and they never come through.
The
Kawhi
last
Leonard,
thing you need is another
15.
first-round pick.
Right. And John, we just saw Toronto win a championship with no lottery picks.
Great point.
Lottery picks.
Great point. Good call,
And
John.
that's what we need. We just need one of our guys to break through. It's not a matter of analytics. Steph Curry was number 7 in the draft.
Right.
A bunch of people went before him, but he popped. He made it happen.
All right, thanks, John. Let's go to Josh in Ohio. Josh, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, how you doing, Chris and Rob?
Great.
What's up, buddy?
Analytics don't work, man. Look at the Oakland A's, Boston, Houston. Like, I agree with the last caller. You get shooters and they can shoot. Analytics don't play a part in that. Get out there and play. Get some good guys in. Look at Toronto's situation. No draft picks in the lottery. Just get a good group of guys together. Like, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, for instance. We don't care about analytics. We get guys out there that want to play. Come out there, put your hard hat on, and hit somebody.
Look,
so that's my take on it.
I think analytics are a part of the equation.
No,
yeah,
they're
Boston,
they're not the whole.
the Red Sox.
Right, exactly. The Red Sox, and Golden State.
And when you
for all the threes they shoot, they get mid-range shots. They get backdoor layups. They have dribble penetration. They posted Boogie Cousins. And they're not just a three-point shooting team.
And, Josh, your point about the Red Sox is another one. Yes, they use analytics, but they also have the highest payroll in baseball because they have some of the best players.
Right.
It ain't just analytics.
Well, just in basketball, you can have the highest payroll. That doesn't mean anybody could want to come there also, too. So you get guys in there that really want. Look, I'm a Clipper fan. So we did real good with Doc Rivers this year. And if we get Kawhi, okay. If we don't, that's fine. I think you build around those guys. You get some guys that want to come in there and, like they got rid of Tobias Harris, which I thought was terrible.
Well, the Clippers are to the point where they need a star.
No, they need a star to go with that group,
yeah, let's
Josh.
Not,
thanks for the call.
They had a great season.
No.
Let's not overstate it. Okay?
We're not right. That's not the goal.
Round.
48 wins is nice.
Exactly.
But that's not where they want to go. Right. You add a Kawhi to that group.
Right.
And now you got expectations. Am I right?
Right. No
doubt. Kevin in North Carolina, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Thank you.
I see this completely different than you all concerning Danny Ainge. I
don't think he's
surprised.
Bad, but
go ahead.
I'm just saying he's a little.
Well, I think if anything, I think Danny Ainge is ahead of the curve because you got Al Horford injury prone, $30 million off the books. He was probably lowballed on purpose, and then Kyrie, best handles in the world, but drama. Go get rid of him. You can concentrate on the young guys. Bring guys in who Brad Stevenson can really coach and buy into his system. I think the Celtics are ahead of the curve. And when you talk about analytics,
Kevin,
yes.
Let me
yes,
stop
sir.
you. Brad Stevens, please tell me the championships he won with the young guys.
I'm not a Brad Stevens.
I'm just
apologist.
and I'm not trying to rip down him, but I'm just saying this league ain't about developing young guys.
Right.
It's about Danny Ainge is about winning a championship in ball. That city's won with the Patriots and the Red Sox and the Bruins have won Stanley Cups. That city's about winning championships. And I'm telling you, when you lose the two players you just lost, you ain't winning no championship.
And I'll tell you, Kevin and Rob, what concerns me, and I've been a Brad Stevens fan. He is a good coach. He's not, we can't crown him as great yet.
They've tried to crown him.
He's a very good coach. But here's what's beginning to worry me. When you hear reporters and Brad Stevens talk about every game, I got to have improvement every single game, and it's game, and he's at odds with Kyrie Irving, who's like, look, regular season is what it is, but it's all about the playoffs.
Right, getting ready for the playoffs.
That's how the stars begin to feel after several years in the league. And if he handles the Ford Focuses and, the Volkswagens and all that, but Kyrie's a Mercedes-Benz.
And he's
a Maserati.
He wasn't able to incorporate that with those young guys this year. And I'm not blaming it all on him.
Right.
But considering they were in the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago with their two stars, big money stars out, and then they couldn't get back there.
Together.
They couldn't get back there.
If you can't work with superstars, then you got a cap on how far you can go in this league. Last call, Jerry in Kentucky. You're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, guys.
How you?
Love you, too. Love your show. I listen to it every day.
Thank you.
Rob, you got to back up off my boy LeBron, but that's for another subject.
I hear that all the time. That's all I hear.
Me?
You should start taking heed.
I agree. I think that analytics are getting their comeuppance because I think that you need analytics to a degree, but sometimes you just need to get grown men who can play the sport, fit them into a system around those men, and go out and win a championship. Trying to look at analytics and say, hey, if we accumulate this many draft picks, or if we get this right here or this right here, it'll make it better. Houston right now does not. They look like a mess because the simple fact is they have men who cannot work together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to me, the thing
that's
about
what
it,
analytics don't take into account is chemistry.
Right.
Chemistry is very big.
Right. All right. The basketball conversation will continue with NBA champion Eddie House. He joins us next. But first, let's bring in our man Steve DeSager for the latest
Steve
in sports.
DeSager.
Hello,
Hey, Steve.
gentlemen. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading guard Mike Conley to Utah for 3 players and a couple first-rounders. It'll become official next month. The NBA draft is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports Radio. At the Women's World Cup, England 3-0 now after a 2-0 victory over Japan. Scotland blew a 3-0 lead in the final 20 minutes today and tied Argentina 3-3. The U.S. closes group play tomorrow afternoon against Sweden on Fox TV. In the round to 16 next week. It could be U.S. against Spain. You need to make good choices, and with TrueCar, you've got a star on your roster. So when you're ready to sell or trade in your car, check out TrueCar. True cash offer not available in all areas. To Major League Baseball, Mariners up 4-0 in the third inning against the Kansas City Royals, and the Tigers have the early 2-0 lead, bottom of the second at Pittsburgh. In the first of a doubleheader, Washington beat Philadelphia 6-2. Max Scherzer on the mound, scoreless in the second against the Phillies. Jake Arrieta, second of the doubleheader. Oakland sent Baltimore to an 8th straight loss, 8-3. Cincinnati, a 3-2 winner against Houston, which has lost 4 in a row. The loss to closer Roberto Osuna. Our matchup, the Discover Card Key matchup in the MLB tonight's at Dodger Stadium. It's L.A. looking for win number 50 of the season already, hosting San Francisco. A win tonight would put the Dodgers at 50-25. I believe the home record is 29-9 to this point. So after 10 p.m.
They've been
Eastern,
monsters, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of on the way to the type of season that they had a couple years ago, where they finally made the World Series after about 30 years. That was probably the best Dodger team of the last 30 to 40 years that we saw. Rich Hill, 4-1 on the mound tonight as the Dodgers are huge favorites against San Francisco and Drew Pomeranz, who's 2-6 with an ERA over 6. Discover Card Key matchup is that one. Go further than ever with the Discover It Miles card. They automatically match the miles you earn at the end of your first year, so your 35,000 miles could become 70,000. Discover It Miles, limitations apply. Discover Match for new card members only. Learn more at discover.com/travel. Today, the Yankees won their 5th straight, 12-1 over Tampa Bay. The loser, Blake Snell, Cy Young winner, lasted a third of an inning. 6 runs allowed, 4 walks. Back to the Odd Couple in 10 seconds, but first a word from Farmers.
At Farmers Insurance, we know a roof can withstand a lot. One exception being an airborne car. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Final from San Diego. Padres hold on 8-7 over the Brewers. Milwaukee's Christian Yelich did hit his 27th home run of the season. I think we have an MVP. As hot as Cody Bellinger is, I think we have an MVP. Yelich is not only leading in homers, steals too, I believe. Back to the Odd Couple.
It is the Odd Couple coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. It's easy to save 15% or more on your car insurance with Geico. Go to geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. The only hard part, figuring out which way is easier. And you know what time it is once you hear that theme music. That's right. NBA championship, three-point marksman, FS1 NBA analyst, none other than Eddie House. What's happening, man?
Fellas, what's happening?
We trying to give you that intro that you had when you come out for games.
I know.
Get you excited.
Man, I love it. You guys give me the best intros. Y'all get me hype. I'm like, man, I'm ready to go hit the gym right now, get some shots up.
There you go. Why not?
That's right. That's
right.
right.
And we'll talk about the NBA Finals and your prediction a little bit later, so we won't do that.
You know Rob wants to talk about the wings
but first off, Rob, listen. I mean, yeah, you got lucky that they got hurt, man. And you can't, no matter who is in front of you, you got to play them. But, man, come on. You lose two of your main guys, man. It's just that nobody can recover from that. I don't care if you put Michael Jordan against any team and he lost Pippen and Robin or Pippen and anybody else, Horace Grant. They don't win those 3 champions. They don't win. They don't go back to back to back if he loses.
Yeah, but
the
only thing, Eddie,
keep it real.
The only thing, Eddie, is this. We already knew Kevin Durant wasn't playing, and that
they could have won it.
That was my
Durant.
point. No,
yeah,
they couldn't.
No,
they could not. Stop it.
They've
Stop
already
it.
done it.
No, they didn't.
They lost
3 home games. Steph had an open 3 that could have tied the series.
They lost the home game that Clay got hurt in. They lost the home game that Clay got hurt in.
But
and they started putting the Raptors on their back. The Raptors' booty start getting tight, and then Clay went down.
Hey, Eddie, stop it. Stop it, Eddie.
Keep it real, man. Keep it real.
That's enough, Rob.
Hey,
just send me.
He dropped you on the mic on your
Eddie,
head.
just send me my Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm going to send them to you. I got you.
All right,
you
Eddie,
and Ice Cube.
Eddie, I want to ask you this, because we talked about this in the first segment. I think, and Rob, we both feel like, over the last, 7, 8 years, 10 years, whatever it's been, the value of a draft pick in trades has been so overstated. Now, I'm not saying you don't like getting draft picks and all that, but it's been overstated, and these GMs get them, and then they sell hope to the owner, and really they're buying time. And we feel like Boston is kind of an example of that.
They had like 10 of them.
10 first-round picks in the last 3 years or whatever, and now with Kyrie and Al Horford headed out the door, what are they going to have to show for it? They're going to be a pretty decent playoff team, and that's it. Do you agree with us on like how – and that's a result of the analytics.
Analytics being a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, in the game?
Yeah, well, I think this. Of course, the draft pick, most of the time, the draft pick that hits for you is on a team that's in the playoff and it's late. If you get a guy early on, they're not making the playoffs anyway. They were a bad team. So it is overvalued. I think it is. You still
and
need
even
to get
most
guys.
lottery picks don't pan
Right,
out.
right. It's
They
not
get
automatic.
regular picks.
Exactly, and you don't win an NBA championship with young players. You win it with a core of veterans, and then with the core of veterans having a couple, if not three, superstars in there, and you have some young players sprinkled in. But as far as trying to win it with young players and waiting for them to develop, most of the time, by the time they do develop, they're getting out of that situation because it's been bad for the 3 or 4 years that they've been there. So it never really pans out for that organization.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. And even in this case, I think the Celtics wind up with, 3 first-round picks?
This year.
But in this draft, after the first 3 players, or maybe 4 if you want to throw somebody else in, I mean, what are they looking at? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not a lot out there, especially with Kyrie leaving and Horford sounding like he got one foot out the door and the other one's following. It's just going to be tough for them. I mean, they're going to have to really be in the free agency game heavy trying to get somebody to come there to pick. Because I think they got young talent. They got really good young talent. They're going to have to keep Terry Rozier, which I think if Kyrie leaves, I think he's willing to come back at that point. I think they have a solid team and a very, very young team, but they're going to need more. They're going to need that veteran leadership. That's what usually puts teams over the hump.
Eddie, what do you think about the trade, Utah getting Conley? You like that?
Well, I think it helps Utah out a lot. I mean, because, Ricky Rubio probably not coming back. And I would take a healthy Conley over Ricky Rubio, a guy that could shoot, score, pass. He could do whatever you want. He plays I think he's one of the most underrated point guards we've had while he's been healthy since in the league and in years people don't really talk about because of where he was at. So I think it's a great trade, actually, for Utah and what they're trying to do. Everybody's looking at this West is wide open right now. So you got to try to make your run now because you never know if KD does come back. He'll come back. If he comes back to the Warriors or Klay come back in a year from now, 2 years from now, they're going to be right back on top. So you have a very small window, and you have to take advantage of it. So that's what I see Utah doing is, hey, man, going for it right now. Let's get a guy in there, a veteran guy, match him up with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, and let's see what we could do with that.
Staying out west, the Houston Rockets, we've read about the turmoil between James Harden and Chris Paul. Give us your take on this situation and what you think Houston should do going forward.
Well, I think their hands are tied with Chris Paul's contract, number one. So they're going to be stuck with him. There's nothing they could do. I think if you are the organization, you're in between a rock and a hard place because obviously it's not working that great with James and CP. I think at this point of Chris's career, I think that what he can take a page out of Jay Kidd and what he did with Dallas and say, okay, I'm going to let other guys make plays. I'm going to knock down threes. I'll make plays when I have to, but I'll become a better spot-up three-point shooter, and that's a lot more dangerous than when you're not a spot-up three-point shooter on a team that relies on all these threes. So I think if you have to change your game as you get older. Everybody knows this. Some guys have to change it from being super athletic to understanding how to score with their back to the basket and the post-up areas and things like that. So I think this is a spot for CP to figure out, okay, how can I be that effective but without being a ball-dominated player because James is going to have the ball in his hands majority of the time.
Last thing, what do you think the Lakers should do? Whether they get $24 million of cap room or $33 the max. Well, let's say they get the max.
I was going to
room.
say 24 is not going to get you a star player.
Let's say they get the max amount of cap room. Do you think they should go get one superstar to pair with LeBron and AD or use that to get maybe 2, 3, or 4 guys that can fill around those?
I think that's what you have to do. You have to go find you got to build a team. It's 5 guys on the court, and 3 guys never got it done. If you think about, look at all the championships, it comes down to role players, and it's different role players night in and night out playing above and beyond what they normally are asked to do. the superstars are going to be superstars, but you must have role players that you can depend on night in and night out to even get you to that spot. I think Anthony Davis and LeBron James going to be the best duo in the NBA next year, right? The best 1-2 punch. So what do you do with that? You have to pair that with guys that can shoot, that can fit in the system that LeBron is. So I would make a hard run at guys like J.J. Redick, Danny Green, Jamal Crawford, Thaddeus Young, Rudy Gay, Pat Beverly, Taj Gibson. Like guys like that could do a lot of dirty work that might not cost you that much, but they're going to be extremely effective. You can trust them, and they'll be able to spread the floor because you need guys that will be able to shoot and also guys that can defend as well.
And maybe LeBron can talk Boobie Gibson out of retirement, no?
That means he was trying too hard, Eddie.
Man. I couldn't help
Hey, man,
it.
as always, great stuff. We appreciate the knowledge.
Thank you, Eddie.
All right. You guys take care, man.
Yep. Millions of sports fans are being set up for disappointment. We'll explain next. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
When it affects your sports world,
it was a bombshell.
We've got it instantly for you.
And it is substantial.
On air. Through social media.
It's going to be huge.
If it happens, we've got it covered.
Did you hear that?
On Fox Sports Radio.
Even if you're a big-time basketball fan, there might be a few facts about the game you don't know. Like, did you know that the first baskets were actually peach baskets? Or that a warm basketball is bouncier than a cold one? Or that players can run as much as 4 miles during a game? Well, here's another fact you might not know that's actually really helpful if you need to buy a car. TrueCar also helps people get used cars. TrueCar isn't just for buying new cars. With their certified dealer network and nationwide inventory of nearly 1 million used cars, you'll enjoy real pricing on actual inventory and a simpler buying experience. And with TrueCar, users can see what others paid, so they know if they're getting a good deal before buying. They're also more likely to enjoy a faster buying experience by connecting with TrueCar certified dealers. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, check out TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states.
Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
I don't get everybody who is criticizing the wealth of, quote, assets that the Lakers gave up to get Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is in the middle of his prime. He's got 5 more years left at least of being a superstar in the NBA. Probably a little bit more, but he's got at least 5 more years. And I've seen people go crazy over what the Lakers had to give up to get Anthony Davis. Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, the number 4 pick in this draft. All right, the 2021 first-round pick if it's a top 8. Other than it goes to the 2022. They swap first-rounders in 2023. Lakers give up a pick in 2024, or potentially the Lakers' unprotected 2025 pick. So basically, the Lakers are giving up the chance of losing their first-round pick all the way between now and basically 2025. But it's not every year, and it's not that they give up their first-round pick every year. It's the Pelicans have the right to swap. Do we want the first-round pick now? Is it not? So what you've given up is basically Ingram, Ball, Hart, the number 4 pick this year, and probably 3 other first-round picks you're going to wind up seeing. It sounds like a lot when you realize this isn't the NFL draft. People treat the NBA draft like it's the NFL draft, and it's not. You'd give up Ingram, Ball, and Hart in a minute to get Anthony Davis, right? They've been trying to get Lonzo Ball gone. They've been trying to get rid of him. He's got injury problems and LeVar Ball causing problems. Brandon Ingram has not become the player they thought he was going to be. Josh Hart is a nice player, but
to get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. You're listening to The Doug Gottlieb Show. It is time.
What's the price of something that's priceless? Apparently, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, number 4 pick, bunch of first-round picks. I could easily say that they overpaid. But what is the cost of not getting Anthony Davis? Because if you don't get Anthony Davis, you probably don't get any free agents. And if you don't get any free agents, now you're left with an abject disaster. So the NBA in the last week has been turned on its head. From Kevin Durant tearing his Achilles tendon, which changed the free agency pool, to Klay Thompson tearing his ACL, again, changing the free agency pool, to Anthony Davis ending up in L.A., changing the free agency pool and changing the Lakers' outlooks. Like, completely different league in 1 week.
The Doug Gottlieb Show.
I mean, that's insane.
Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hits just keep on coming.
Outkick the Coverage with Clay Travis is coming right for you.
My presidential campaign would be predicated on this. The NBA season starts on Christmas and ends the first week of August. College basketball starts on January 2nd, ends with May Madness instead of March Madness. NFL puts in another bye week or two, finishes its season on President's Day weekend, meaning Super Bowl Sunday becomes a default national holiday since it's followed by the President's Day holiday on Monday, and everybody would get off President's Day. Halloween, the last Saturday of October, and 2 time zones. East time zone, West time zone, boom, that's it. No 4 time zones in this country. We're doing away with it. We're having 2. No matter where you are, if you're in New York or you're in L.A., you're 1 hour apart.
It's Outkick the Coverage with Clay Travis.
You want to talk about a way to start your morning?
6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. We start in the middle of the night.
Over the top, in your face.
We're still going as the sun comes up.
I don't think that's overstating things.
From sun up,
I'm all in.
To sundown.
You are going to get some action, correct?
We're on the air for you.
Just so that's clear.
24 hours a day.
Sometimes we're just way ahead of storylines. We were way ahead of this one.
Let's go.
We're Fox Sports Radio. And we're here for you from morning till night. Premier boxing champions go toe-to-toe on Fox. Former champion Jermell Charlo is on the road to reclaim his belt as he takes on Jorge Cota. Charlo versus Cota, Sunday at 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
At Farmers Insurance, we know the sound of a perfect hot air balloon landing. And a less than perfect one. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
We at war. We at war with terrorism, racism, but most of all.
All right, it's the Odd Couple on this Worship Wednesday. And I'll tell you what, Rob.
And I'm thankful.
You know who might not be thankful?
Who's that?
Come free agency, come the end of free agency. Knicks fans. And I don't know, none of us know exactly how things are going to play out. But, Rob, what we do know is that for, the last 5 months, all the talk was about the Knicks getting Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And possibly. No, it wasn't even possibly. It was when they get Zion, which you're trading for Anthony Davis.
And remember that. So now you look up and go, not only does it look like they're not getting, we know it looks like
Kyrie's looking like Brooklyn. Right. And a couple people told me today it's a done deal. Now, we'll see.
Right. And Zion, obviously, New Orleans. And AD, who got traded to the Lakers. So now, it's just about KD on whether or not they can still lure him. But if I were to look at it right now, and don't forget Vegas bought in too because they made the Knicks 12-1 favorites. Remember that? Yep. Before the draft.
Yep.
Because they didn't want to get on the hook by making them 100-1, and then all these dominoes fall into place, and then you're in trouble.
Right.
Trying to pay people. But instead, I'm starting to look at the Knicks and think they're going to get shut out, and all they're going to get is their pick.
Let's go through them.
Seriously.
Klay Thompson's probably staying in Golden State. Jimmy Butler. Now, they could, if they just want to spend their money.
But that's not what
they could get Jimmy Butler.
Well, you
could
think
they get Kemba? I'm not sure. He's very loyal to Charlotte.
But
Charlotte
he is from New York. He is from New York.
But let's say, best case scenario, let's say they do get Jimmy Butler and Kemba Walker. I mean, with all due respect to those players, because they're legitimate perennial all-stars, they're not taking you anywhere.
I agree.
Were they taking you to 6th seed?
Home
5th
dinner,
seed?
maybe a show, but it ain't going to the playoffs or the finals.
You might make the playoffs. You're definitely not a contender in the East.
No, I'm with you. I just do not think that that's what you want to do.
Right.
Is just spend that money to spend it on half-baked stars.
Right.
Not that I'm not saying
they're good, but they're second
not.
and third
They're
guys.
second and third tier guys. That's not what you cleared all that cap space for to sign second and third tier players.
I think the way things are looking, like Kevin Durant, even if you do get him, he's out for all of next year, and I think it's a big if about getting him. Kyrie's recruiting him strong to Brooklyn, and he's got a lot to sell. He's got a lot to sell him in Brooklyn. So he may end up there. That would just make it even worse. That would add insult to injury.
Oh, no.
Not only do you not get either of them, but they both go to Brooklyn?
That would be they would be hurt. And in New York, we all know, growing up there, people had to pick the other three sports, right? Whether you were a Met or Yankee fan, whether you were a Jet or Giant fan, whether you were Islanders or Rangers fan. But the one that was never picked was everybody was a Knicks fan because the Nets were in New Jersey, and people don't care. You know this, Chris.
They didn't care.
You could be – and they were only 7 miles away or whatever it was, and it still didn't matter.
They played in the Meadowlands
in the old
where
days.
the Giants played.
Right.
And the Jets,
Right. And Giants and Jets played there, but nobody cares about the Nets. Now, I've seen where the Mets were able to be for a decade or a 10-year run where they were more got the back pages of the paper when the Mets had Strawberry and Gooden and they won a World Series. But it's not long range. And the same thing like this, could the Nets take over the Knicks for a 10-year or 6-year stretch with these guys? Absolutely. And be the talk of New York? Absolutely.
No question. I think if the Knicks get shut out, or let's say they could get Butler and Kemba Walker, I think they'd be better served just drafting R.J. Barrett or, I mean, it'd be great if Ja Morant fell to him, but just drafting R.J. Barrett.
Good luck on that.
Honestly, draft R.J. Barrett and hope he becomes something special, see if he's special, and build around him. I mean, really. Mitchell Robinson's shown some promise as an athletic shot-blocking role player. Kevin Knox, I'm not going to write him off after 1 year.
Right.
So that's what I would do, Rob. If they don't get one of the top-tier guys, I would draft R.J. Barrett and say, okay, let's see if he can be a building block player, if he can be a part of a big 2 or big 3.
But it's still
let's build around him.
Chris, if you're a Knicks fan and you suffered through that horrible season that the Knicks had, their worst ever, right? Yeah. If you suffered through that, I'm sorry, you're so disappointed if this is what they wind up with.
No,
because it's not what you signed. You were like, okay, I could deal with this if I'm gonna get Zion out of this, or if I'm gonna get KD and Kyrie. Oh yeah, okay, and they heard all the stuff, and you know that it would be devastating because that's just not what they signed up for.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I mean. And here's the difference. Now, they got left at the altar the year in 2010 when LeBron went to Miami. They obviously got Amari Stoudemire. But the difference is that they were hoping they could get LeBron. They were expecting. They were believing that they're getting Kevin Durant. And that's the difference. The pain will be much worse. Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio, keep it locked.
We are Fox Sports.
Ready for tomorrow?
With the Discover IT Miles card, you can go further than you've ever gone before. Like sun in your face, book in your hand, kids playing in the sand further. Because the Discover It Miles card offers unlimited 1.5 miles on every purchase, and they'll automatically match all the miles you earn at the end of your first year. So your 35,000 miles could quickly become 70,000. It's just that easy. Get out there with your Discover It Miles card today. Limitations apply. Discover match for new card members only. Learn more at discover.com/travel.
The weather's heating up, which means it's the perfect time to get that next job done. At AutoZone, we have the free services you need to do it right. Like our AutoZone Rewards program. Sign up is free, and you get a $20 reward every time you spend $20 or more 5 times. Looking to protect your engine and start that oil change? Get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX high-mileage motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $26.99. With more than 5,600 locations nationwide, getting the job done just got easier. See terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions and details in store.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Sound the alarm!
Check it out. You must have been busy, but The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker were breaking this down.
These suckers, I'm playing chess. Y'all playing checkers. The best way to get Lonzo out of L.A. is I said, you know what? I don't like New Orleans. Even the writing is on the new shirt that he gonna wear. It said no L.A. on it.
That should be his last statement or anybody putting a microphone in front of him. Take the L. Take the L. All right? Just take the L. Do not try to spin it. Because this is the no-spin zone. This is a spin job where you're trying to convince us that your real thought was that you wanted him to go to New Orleans. This is a L.A. kid. He grew up in the L.A. area. Ain't no way Lonzo Ball wanted to go to New Orleans. It's a dream come true. You know how many kids grow up in Los Angeles and want to play for the Lakers? And most people don't get to do that. And you play college ball at UCLA. You had it all.
Who was his hero growing up?
Right, Magic.
Well, LeBron.
Oh, LeBron. I'm sorry. Right,
LeBron,
and he got to play with him. And Magic. What did Magic say? We're gonna hang up your jersey in the rafters at Staples, right?
Right.
Think about all that. And now you're gonna sit here and just say, instead of just saying, "Hey, my son is gonna move on and figure it out, and I want him to stay healthy and have a great NBA career." Just say that. To sit here and try to sell us that you manipulated it by saying that they better not trade his son is the biggest mistake ever was you trying to get him traded to New Orleans. You don't believe that for 1 second, Chris.
No.
Come on.
Look.
To get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcast it by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is the Jason Smith Show.
And my best friend,
Mike Harmon.
I said for the longest time, this offseason is so critical for the Lakers. They need to get players so LeBron James buys in. Getting Anthony Davis gets him to buy in. You're going to see LeBron next year, and we're going to say, oh, we shoveled dirt on LeBron too early, and look how good LeBron still is. And all it was taking last year, quote, off, so he can be ready for this year, next year, the year after that. Getting Anthony Davis, you get the buy-in now from LeBron James. He'll be much more active. He'll be more active in trying to get players to come, more active in interacting with his teammates. You're going to see a different LeBron because now he's got a team around him. At least he's got a player around him that he can point to and say, with him, now we can go someplace.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon.
Yes, the last men standing.
Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. What are you waiting for? Go. We're going to give you some names.
You ready?
Dan.
Oh, yeah, that guy's back again.
Paulie.
He's going to be the best of his position.
Seton.
Just to play in devil's advocate. Okay.
McLovin.
We're just friends here.
And Fritz.
Fritzy, I have complete confidence in you. Are you ready?
No.
Those names work on the Dan Patrick Show. You can hear all those names right here.
You know what I said, kiss my asterisk.
What? Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Doug Gottlieb is your friend.
Like all of my friends in the business.
A friend that you can call upon.
Couldn't pick him out of a lineup, don't know him.
A friend that will give you his opinion.
And do so in a non-sarcastic way.
A friend that will always be here for you.
Does anybody else see the irony to that?
And a friend that you can listen to right here.
Best friends.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Call it.
The Doug Gottlieb Show. 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports trending now.
Taking a look at the Wednesday night MLB scoreboard, Mike Trout has hit his 21st homer of the year. Angels tied 3-3 at Toronto, bottom of the second. At Atlanta, Freddie Freeman with his 21st home run. Braves over the Mets 2-1 in the top of the third. It's already Tigers 7-1 at Pittsburgh in the top of the third. And at Seattle, Mariners lead 7-1 over the Royals, bottom of the fourth. In D.C., a doubleheader after the rains this week. Washington took the opener 6-2 against Philadelphia. And the Nationals, with Max Scherzer on the mound, lead 1-0 over the Phillies, bottom of the third in the nightcap. Has your check engine light come on recently? Then check out the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help you troubleshoot the likely cause. Get in the zone. AutoZone. At the Women's World Cup, England is 3-0 after shutting out Japan 2-0. Scotland blew a late 3-0 lead and tied Argentina 3-3. U.S.-Sweden on Fox TV tomorrow. I'm Steve DeSager.
Do you know who this is? Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple. One guy's married. One guy is divorced. One guy has no kids. One guy has 2 beautiful daughters. One guy went to college in a cornfield in Ohio. One guy went to an Ivy League school in the big city. One guy spends his Sunday morning seated in the pew.
Sweet Jesus.
The other spends it throwing money at the pole. Can these 2 sports writers share a radio show without driving each other crazy? From the Geico studios of Fox Sports Radio, here's the Odd Couple, Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Yes, indeed, it is the Odd Couple. I am Chris. He is Rob. You can follow us on social media. Twitter, I'm at Chris_Broussard. Rob is at Rob Parker FS1. Instagram, I'm at Chris Broussard68. Rob is at Rob Parker FS1, and we're coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. And it is the summertime. Basketball is over, at least in terms of regular season and playoff games. That means it's baseball season, folks. And we've got a baseball expert here in Rob Parker. And I like baseball myself. So we're going to talk a little bit of baseball.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
We got a controversy boiling. Manny Machado went off on the refs a few days ago.
The
umpire a few days ago. And got suspended for 1 game. Rob G, give us the story surrounding this controversy.
Well, Chris, you did a good job setting the scene. He went off with the home plate umpire. Call him the F word, I'm going to say 28 times. He threw his bat at the backstop. He was upset.
Words can't hurt you. Go ahead.
And he was suspended for 1 game for what they say making contact with the official. I didn't see it in the video, but that's what they say.
He barely grazed him when he came up to him.
I don't even know if he touched him.
But it wasn't like some sort of like violent confrontation.
I really don't think – I didn't see him touch him.
I think if you look at it slowly, he just barely grazed him. No, he
but
grazed
even
him.
Still, that is secondary now at this point because the MLB umpires have gotten in their feelings. They put out – multiple statements on social media in the last few days.
They went to Facebook like a little 12-year-old girl.
Can you let Rob G explain the story?
Go ahead.
Here's one little clip that they put out on their Facebook page, like Rob said. It says, quote, 1 game? 1 single game? What kind of precedent is that setting? It is not okay to throw a temper tantrum and physically touch someone of authority.
Why
just
are you
because,
reading it in that voice?
This
is
how
it
reads.
Right. He's right.
This is how it reads.
Yes.
Now, just because you don't agree, violence in all workplaces is not tolerated.
Was that violence? Is that violence?
We already got him read it in the soft voice. Now you gonna weigh in?
No, but then they made it worse by posting it again on Twitter with a couple of hashtags, including hashtag lead by example, hashtag violence, hashtag temper tantrum, hashtag inaction, hashtag not tolerated, hashtag make an example of. So they're pretty upset. So Joe Torre and Major League Baseball, they didn't like it very much, so they put out a statement of their own. This time it was an actual press release. It was not on Facebook. It was not on Twitter. And ultimately they said, we do not believe it is appropriate for the union representing Major League umpires to comment on the discipline of players represented by the Major League Baseball Players Association, just as it would not be appropriate for the Players Association to comment on disciplinary actions made with respect to umpires. We also believe it is inappropriate to compare this incident to the extraordinarily serious issue of workplace violence.
And beyond that, I read 2 columns today.
All right.
One in USA Today, one on The Athletic, where media members, respected ones, good media members that I like reading, ripped the umpires.
Yes.
Now, what
was
I am
was
about
Nightingale
to
one
do,
of them?
yes.
I knew Bob Nightingale. He's a good baseball writer. He understands.
What I'm about to do is bring some sanity to this situation. And I'm not a homer for the umpires. I am actually a person that would like to see robot umpires at home plate. So I'm not in the back pocket of the umpires. But in this case, the umpires are right. What Manny Machado did was completely, utterly out of line. He should have been suspended for at least 3 games, if not 5. I don't care that he didn't touch the umpire or that he just grazed him, whatever the case. In what workplace, heck, in what sport can you get in the face of the umpire for 30 seconds and drop F-bomb after F-bomb after F-bomb and then throw a bat violently? And it was violently.
Did it touch anybody?
Luckily for him, no. But that was utterly ridiculous. You can't do that in any other sport. If in this workplace, if I went off on Rob G for 30 seconds, cussing him out, and then threw the microphone at the wall,
you're fired.
You don't think I'd get some type of suspension?
No, you know what would happen? Rob G would be transferred to the Jason Smith show. He would be moved.
I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. And what it tells me, and especially with all the media, and then even the MLB Players Association trying to give these players a pass, this is the bottom line. We baseball players are a bunch of spoiled brats. They are a bunch of spoiled brats. And here's the proof. They can't take anything. Oh, if you stare after you hit a home run. Oh, them fighting you. You actually stared at the ball after you hit a home run. Guess what? I'm going to plunk you on the head or the hip with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Oh, if you how dare you break up a no-hitter with a bunt.
Nobody does that.
How dare you steal a base when you're up 5 runs. I mean, they can't take anything. Those are fighting situations because you bunted out of a no-hitter. You stared at a home run. I got to throw the ball at you. That's a temper tantrum. But yet they expect to be able to do whatever they want. Bench clearing ball? Fine. It's all right. You know, throw the bat at the backstop? Fine. That's okay. Get in the face of the umpire for 30 seconds? Fine. I can do that. I mean, Draymond Green, as much flack as he gets for going off on officials, I've never seen an NBA player get in an official's face for 30 seconds and go off on them like Machado did. Why does baseball get this pass? In football, you can't even tackle anymore in practice.
Nope.
In basketball, you can't stare at the ref for 2 seconds without getting a technical.
Yeah.
But in baseball, you can fight. In baseball, you can get nose to nose with the umpire, call him every name in the book, and get a 1-game suspension. And then the media defends it. What the heck is going on? It's like a bizarro world where baseball players, they just get a pass. They can do whatever the heck they want. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. Come into the 21st century, Major League Baseball. You ain't even got nothing to say. You know it. Admit it. I'm right.
You're not right.
Wow.
Again. Chris is off base. Nobody cares about the umpires. They're supposed to be like third base. We need you to play the game, but nobody's paying to see you. They need to step down. It's about the players. I'm sorry. As long as Manny doesn't touch you or swing on you or do anything deliberately to you, but the umpires, stop it. We shouldn't even know who your name, let alone anything. That's not your job. The players have their names on the back. Not one umpire has their name on their back. Nobody cares what they're doing.
That's a tired argument.
Just get the call. Just get the call right. And Manny could be upset as long as he doesn't touch anybody, and 1-game suspension is just fine. Major League Baseball did what's right. What do you want him to give Chris? If they gave him 3 games, like you say,
that still wouldn't even matter. It's 162 games, for goodness sake.
And then he would go and protest, and then they will reduce it to one anyway.
They shouldn't
so
reduce
this way,
it.
well, that's what they do.
He's trying to appeal this one.
Because they're not going to go because there's only one game. But if it was 3, he would appeal it, and they'll probably drop it down to 1 or 2. My point is, you're worked up over it, and you shouldn't be. This is baseball, and how it's done.
Why does baseball get the pass? Seriously. What can you imagine an NFL player getting in an ump's face or referee's face like that? A basketball player? Why do baseball players get that pass?
Because
Seriously.
some of the greatest managers, whoever managed in baseball, have been those guys. Have been the guys that kick dirt on the umpires. It's a part of our game. I've seen it. Lou
Tackling's a part of football.
No.
But they're taking that out of the game.
That's a health issue, Chris, and you know better than that. That's a health issue.
What about
that has nothing to do with the
basketball?
game. And that's David Stern, who overstepped his boundaries with players because, you know what? It was optics. They didn't want to see black players with a Donnybrook fighting in stands Donnybrook fighting, black players fighting in front of stadiums with 80% white fans.
I'm glad.
Am I right or wrong?
I'm glad you.
Am I
brought
right
up
or
race.
won on that?
No, you're right.
That's
but
why
the
David
problem
Stern
with
did
baseball. They wouldn't let a predominantly black sport. They would not let players run amok like this. They would not let a sport where 80% of the players are black in football, 66%, get in the ref's face like that. They wouldn't. Baseball, they're allowed to do that because even at the height of black presence in baseball, it was still like 30%. It's always been a majority white league, and they give them the leeway that they don't give the black athletes in the majority black sports.
David Stern did that. I'll be the first one to admit it.
I'm just saying, like, there's no league. There's no way you let
but
a
there's
league
nobody
with black players have these bench clearing brawls and, you know, get in the umpire's face like that, throw bats all over the place. But baseball players get mad after a guy hits a homer and flips the bat. But they expect it to be okay.
Well, because you're showing
when
them
the batter
up.
throws, showing the umpire up is throwing the bat at the backstop is okay though.
No, I didn't say it was okay, but it's not like you're like all worked up. Nobody.
It's ridiculous. Why the double standard? Every other aspect of society, we're toning down. But baseball gets to stay the way it was 50 years ago because that's baseball.
No,
that's an unwritten rule.
But the difference is, Chris, you're trying to say that it hasn't toned down. It has toned down.
How?
Go back to the days of Don Drysdale and Bob Gibson when they used to hit people all the time and throw at people. They don't do it nearly as much as they used to do it. I'm telling you.
Why are they doing
used to,
it at all?
They used to intimidate players. If a guy hit a home run, they'd hit the next guy.
That's stupid.
That's the way it used to be. They don't at least do that anymore.
But they still hitting guys.
Yeah, but not nearly at the rate that they used to. So I'm saying there has been a change. But for you to have your panties in a bunch over this.
I don't wear panties.
All right, well, your tighty whities in a bunch.
I wear boxers, baby.
But to have all that. And then you have the nerve to come up here and talk about you want robot umpires. You want a robot minister at church too?
That's got nothing to do
yes,
with
it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, because they're gonna tell you the word and not have them any wrong inflections on it. They're gonna do it exactly the way the Bible would say it.
That'd be fine.
Are you all right with that?
Yeah.
Everybody don't preach the same way, Chris. You know that. Just like umpires, everybody don't umpire that.
Sports,
so
that
drop the mic right there.
No, he dropping the mic to get it out of your hand. That's what he doing. That's ridiculous. Bringing up ministers. I mean,
I'm trying to get
the strike zone should be the same.
Everybody's not the same.
Everybody.
You know what? We're human beings. Enough with the robots. Stop with the robots. I'm not interested in a robot. Why don't you get a robot girlfriend? And this way she'll act the right way all the time with you. You'll never have to do anything. Why?
Here you go with analogies and metaphors that don't even fit.
Why? You said you want the same thing, consistency.
Ridiculous.
Would a robot girlfriend be consistent? And you don't have to worry about her mood swings.
Am
you know
I
what
the
she
only
is?
one that is like, what?
No, I'm telling you.
Rob G.
You want this?
Does this make any sense?
You want this perfect world and everything right. It doesn't work like that. That's what makes the world great. You have to overcome
errors
things.
And mistakes.
You have to overcome those errors and mistakes. That's
no
what life
error.
is about.
That was no error for Manny Machado to get in that man's face for 30 seconds, cussing him out, and the umpire just supposed to sit there and take it?
Yeah, you're an umpire. That comes with the job.
You're not as important to the game as the players, but you still should be respected. I get Manny being upset. And it wasn't a quick ejection, but he probably dropped the F-bomb, and that's why he got ejected so quickly. But that was utterly ridiculous. One of his teammates or a manager should have came over there and got between them. That was embarrassing for Manny Machado and embarrassing for the sport of baseball. And the fact that all these baseball people are defending it, that's embarrassing too. Don't tell me about football. Don't let them do the Oklahoma drill. Don't tell me about anything like that when you allowing this madness to go on in baseball. I am really interested in what the listeners think. Whether they agree with me or not, I got to hear this.
Yeah, I can't wait. Most of them are going to be with me because
we'll see. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Whose side are you on? Chris Broussard and the umpires, or Rob Parker and the spoiled brat player?
Rob Parker. Are you on the umpire side?
That's how Rob read it.
Are you on the umpire side?
I convinced Rob G, though. He's feeling small right now. He knows his wife would not be happy with him right now. We'll continue the conversation with you next. It's the High Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
The New Orleans Pelicans select.
For our draft coverage, this is the only place to be.
Smoke it like a tuck. Let's go.
You need to join Chris Broussard, Rick Bucher, and Jason McIntyre. It all starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Even if you're a big-time basketball fan, there might be a few facts about the game you don't know. Like, did you know that the first baskets were actually peach baskets? Or that a warm basketball is bouncier than a cold one? Or that players can run as much as 4 miles during a game? Well, here's another fact you might not know that's actually really helpful if you need to buy a car. TrueCar also helps people get used cars. TrueCar isn't just for buying new cars. With their certified dealer network and nationwide inventory of nearly 1 million used cars, you'll enjoy real pricing on actual inventory and a simpler buying experience. And with TrueCar, users can see what others paid, so they know if they're getting a good deal before buying. They're also more likely to enjoy a faster buying experience by connecting with TrueCar certified dealers. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, check out TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features not available in all states.
Academy Award winner Kevin Costner stars in Paramount Network's Yellowstone.
All the angels are gone, son. There's only devils left.
Season 2 of cable's #1 new drama premieres tonight at 10.
The walls are closing in on all sides. We're fighting to survive.
Loyalty, morality, not part of the equation.
We're about to find out how big a role you play in this family, son. You understand what I'm asking? Oh, my God.
Yellowstone Season 2 premieres tonight at 10/9 Central on the new Paramount Network.
Napa know-how.
Right now, get a 5-quart jug of Napa conventional motor oil for just $11.99. That's a pretty unbelievable deal for a pretty unbelievable oil. But trust us, it's totally real, but only for a limited time. So get your 5-quart jug of Napa conventional motor oil for only $11.99 today. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Limit 6 per customer. Offer ends 6/30/19.
What are you waiting for? We're going to give you some names.
You ready?
Dan.
Oh, yeah, that guy's back again.
Paulie.
He's going to be the best of his position.
C.
Just to play in devil's advocate here.
McLovin.
We're just friends here.
And Fritz.
Fritzy, I have complete confidence in you. Are you ready?
No.
Those names work on the Dan Patrick Show. You can hear all those names right here.
You know what I said. Kiss my asterisk.
What? Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Oh, my goodness. Clay Travis is back at it again. Did you hear this on Outkick the Coverage?
I'm telling you what's going on here. Space Jam 2 is the route that the Lakers are trying to ride to a championship. Y'all think I'm crazy, some of you, but a lot of others of you have come around here. I'm a genius. Think about this. Anthony Davis has to make a decision. What is he going to do about the $4 million that he potentially could pick up under his contract? The Lakers need that $4 million to be able to go after the best possible player, right? How can they get that $4 million? To me, the play is pretty straightforward here. Space Jam 2. LeBron, think about this. LeBron James is putting on Space Jam 2. Why can't he go to Anthony Davis and say, hey, if you don't count that $4 million under the Lakers salary cap, I'll give you $4 million plus to be one of my co-stars in Space Jam 2. And this will allow us to potentially go out and get a third big-time playmaker at a max contract. I will end up putting more money in your pocket if you turn down this $4 million. We are going to circumvent the salary cap in the NBA using all of my production resources in the Hollywood entertainment complex to make the Lakers a championship team. We have the same agent. Nobody will know. You're going to get the same money in your pocket. The only difference is instead of it coming from the Lakers, it will be coming from the production company doing Space Jam 2. And oh, by the way,
to get the rest of what Clay Travis said, podcast it by searching Outkick the Coverage. And as always, you can hear Outkick the Coverage with Clay Travis weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
And now this important message.
Jason Smith and Mike Harmon. They like to do impressions.
Screw you guys, I'm going to watch Big Cavalier.
They like double entendres.
I got 2 big cheeks. I have a big ass.
And they like working together.
You got to change your Twitter handle to Swollen Rocket Man. Give me the over-under.
You can hear the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon right here.
This is Fox Sports Radio.
Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific.
It's amazing.
On Fox Sports Radio. You kind of like us, right? You're a fan of Dan. You're lolling over Colin. You're smizing for Eisen. You're a fan of Clay. LOL. You're a dweeb for Gottlieb. You'd go through hell for RJ Bell. You quit your job for Chris and Rob. You'd give him a 10 out of 10. His name is Ben. And you'd put an alarm on for Smith and Harmon. Harmon, whatever. Close enough. This is Fox Sports Radio. The 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup continues on Fox with a crucial matchup as Sweden faces off with the U.S. Women's National Team. USA versus Sweden. Coverage begins tomorrow at 2 Eastern on Fox.
At Farmers Insurance, we know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle, bird poop, drone. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
All right, it's the odd couple. Chris Broussard, Rob Parker on a Worship Wednesday. We got great news for you. There's a quick and an easy way you can save money. Switch to Geico. It only takes 15 minutes to see if you can save 15% or more on your car insurance. Go to geico.com. See how much you can save. All right, we threw it out to you. You on the umpire side? Or you with the players on this? Let's start with Floyd.
And for some of the guys who can't get through, because I understand, like, a lot of guys rushed to the phone because they had to try to, because Chris was yelling, so they got stimulated, whether it's right or not. So all I'm saying is,
that's your style.
All you guys hang it. You're the yeller. I don't yell.
You yell when you got a point to make. Ridiculous. All right, let's go to Floyd in Atlanta. Floyd, John with Chris and Rob.
Hey, how you guys doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah, we're great. We're great.
Hey, man, I've been listening to you guys from day one. Big fan. Love the show.
Thank you,
Floyd.
Appreciate that.
Man, yes. We appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been calling a lot, first time getting through, but I want to get right to the Manny Machado incident, and I haven't even seen the video. I'm 53 years old, so I'm right there in you guys' range.
Yep.
Baseball was my first love. And, you know, left-handed pitch, first base, right field, yada, yada. Big fan, Dodger fan. But to me, it's 2019. And, Rob, I got to tell you, when it comes to baseball, you are that old man. Get off my lawn.
Right.
Because the hitting a home run, you're mad because the man is staring. Now you want to throw at him. You know, any little thing you do. And to sit there and berate an umpire like that, where a basketball player can slam the ball and get a technical.
Yeah, but just
on
the rim.
But wait a minute, Floyd. Just because David Stern made the players had to make them obedient and do what he did, doesn't make that what they're doing in baseball is wrong. It's just what David Stern has done is wrong, that you can't complain or you can't look at a referee or anything. What they do in the NBA is totally wrong.
You should be able to go off for 30 seconds in an umpire.
Some of these referees are terrible. And you know what, Floyd? I'm not an old man.
That's one reason that Major League Baseball games are so long, because you make room for this garbage.
Thanks for the call.
Let's go to Mark in Virginia. Mark, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, guys, I love you. Been listening to you for a minute. I want to get right to the heart of the matter. Chris, I'm all in with you on this, bro. Unfortunately, we are developing a culture of dishonor and disrespect, and Manny just took it too far. And by the way, Rob, I am a minister, and that was a bad analogy. I love you guys. I'm out.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Appreciate
it. Thanks for setting the record straight on that, too. Wow. Let's go to Tavares in North Carolina. You're on with the Odd Couple.
I'm with CB on this one. It was disrespectful. And do you remember when Rasheed Wallace changed the game of basketball? He changed the game to if anybody did some type of emphatic, like, what? Tech, you get a technical.
Yeah, but that was ridiculous. That was Stern. Stern did all that. And it was ridiculous. And you notice, you watch the NBA game, they make a lot of horrendous calls. Some of the we've seen,
but they do it in every sport.
No, but then in the NBA, you talk about the phantom calls all the time. In the NBA Finals, they have cost people with terrible calls, and you're supposed to sit there silent, and the referees are above reproach.
There's a happy medium.
I mean, I think that's ridiculous.
No, you can't go off for 35, 40 seconds in the
Tavares,
guy's face.
Thank you for calling
F-bombs.
Anyway.
That's crazy. Daryl in Washington.
What's wrong with these calls? What is this?
Thank you for having me. First of all, second of all, I'm going to just set the record straight. There's brothers and there's brothers, okay? I got brothers, but brothers, every sport where there is a lack of brothers, there's always freedom. Ice hockey, you get to fight. Baseball, you get to fight.
You can't fight as like you used to, but there's no doubt about it. No, but there's no doubt about it. No, there's no doubt about that. If you had
Chris Broussard all the way. NFL, NBA, they put these things down. Now, the positive of that is that it keeps us from fighting one another. But at the end of the day, man, come on, man. They're regulating rules, and I just feel like the privileged stay privileged with what they can get away with.
Right.
So that's
Daryl, when was the last time you bought a ticket to go see an umpire? Stop it.
That's got nothing to do with it,
Stop. Nobody cares about them.
This wasn't an example, though. And there obviously are examples where umpires show up players.
Yes.
But this wasn't an example of that.
All right, I'm glad you acknowledged that.
You might disagree with the call, but he wasn't showing up.
You've seen it,
Machado.
though. Have you seen umpires?
But rarely. I see more of them, what Machado did. Let's go to Richard in North Carolina. You're on with the Odd Couple.
Richard.
I used to umpire college baseball, and I'm here to tell you that the manager should have been out there to protect his players. And second of all, if you want to stand there and you got questions from the manager, and I'll be glad to talk to you as long as you act like you got some sense. But once you start showing your ass, you're gone, period.
That's right.
Thanks for the call, Richard.
I mean, the umpire's supposed to just sit there and take it? Really?
What
He's
about
a man, too.
Let's go to Ricky in Orlando. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Can some baseball fans call in, please?
These are all baseball
I'm looking for baseball fans tonight.
Go ahead, Ricky.
How y'all doing?
Great.
Okay, I want to make this point real fast. Chris, I told you what was going to happen to Toronto, so let's squash that right there.
We already know Chris lost all his bets on the Raptors. Now stop with that.
Clay was injured. That's real.
I would like to talk about this unwritten rule crap. What they should do with baseball is when the guys hit home runs, man, stand there and watch your home run. Flip the bat, do all that kind of stuff. Run around the bases, talk trash. And then when the pitchers strike out a whole bunch of guys, talk trash to them. Talk trash to the dugout. And baseball is like Night of the Living Dead. It's just dull, dead.
All right, hang up on Ricky. Thanks, Ricky. We don't want to talk about that.
Thank you. Good job, Ricky. All right, former NBA veteran.
People say that when they don't understand something.
Former NBA veteran Etan Thomas has some words of wisdom for guys like Kevin Durant, and he'll share them with us next. But first, Let's bring in Steve DeSager for the latest in sports.
Steve DeSager, the umpire was wrong.
Steve,
we know it.
Give us your
Steve,
thoughts.
you're a baseball guy.
I'm sure he's with Rob.
I was watching the game at the time, and Machado crossed the line because he came back out of the dugout to continue the conversation, if you want to call it that, and threw the bat on top of it.
But you actually, I'm glad you're with me on that, Steve. But however, before he went to the dugout, you were fine with that? 30 seconds of berating a ref?
No, it deserves a suspension.
Right. Did he deserve more than one?
Sure, the total action?
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Steve, look,
I'm not a supporter of the umpires union generally.
Thank you.
Machado
I am not
went
either.
over.
I want robot umps.
On this case, he went over the line. Max Scherzer is the starting pitcher in D.C. for the second of a doubleheader tonight. This is the guy who broke his nose in batting practice yesterday. Bunting. Washington is up 1-0 on Philadelphia against Jake Arrieta in the Phils, top of the fifth. And Washington already won the opener of the Twin Bills 6-2 against Philadelphia. Bryce Harper was 0 for 2 with 2 walks in that game, batting .245 for his new team. Tigers lead 7-3 at the Pirates, bottom of the fourth. It's Mariners 7-1 over the Royals, bottom of the sixth. Mike Trout with 2 home runs now, 22 on the season. It's Angels 7-3 leaders at Toronto in the top of the fourth. Mets at Braves tied 2-2 in the fourth. Freddie Freeman with his 21st home run. Great pitching matchup with White Sox at Cubs. It's Lucas Giolito 10-1 for the White Sox against John Lester 5-5 for the Cubs. White Sox out to a 1-0 lead, but the Cubs had bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning. Cubs are a half game back of the first-place Brewers in the NL Central. Milwaukee lost 8-7 at San Diego today. Manny Machado with an RBI single. He's batting .270. Padres have won 4 straight. Christian Yelich did have his 27th homer in the loss. Cincinnati and Oakland with home wins. Yankees as well. Yanks have won 5 straight. They pounded Tampa Bay and pitcher Blake Snell 12-1. CC Sabathia with the victory, career win number 250. Online car shopping can be confusing. Not anymore with True Price from TrueCar. Now you can know the exact price you'll pay for your next car. So visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. The NBA draft is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports Radio. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading guard Mike Conley to Utah. That'll become official next month. At the Women's World Cup, England is 3-0 after shutting out Japan today 2-0. Scotland is out after blowing a 3-0 lead in the final 20 minutes, giving up an own goal, a late penalty kick, 3-3 the final against Argentina. The U.S. women close out group play tomorrow afternoon against Sweden on Fox TV. Back to the Odd Couple in 10 seconds, but first a word from Farmers.
At Farmers Insurance, we know a roof can withstand a lot. One exception being an airborne car. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
And guys, a note about Hyunjin Ryu having a great season for the Dodgers. 9-1 record, ERA 1.26. Well, LA announced tonight that lefty Julio Urias will get a spot start tomorrow night, which moves the entire rotation back a day. And Dodger beat writer Bill Plunkett points out that we could have Ryu as the starter for the All-Star game now. Before, he was due to start that final game before the All-Star break. Now it's going to be July 3rd and 5 days off before the All-Star game. And also this means that Ryu this weekend is going to be starting the Fox game Saturday against Colorado. Back to the Odd Couple.
Thank you, Steve. It is the Odd Couple. Chris Broussard, Rob Parker,
and
coming
you know
to
what?
you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. It's easy to save 15% or more on your car insurance with Geico. Go to geico.com or call 800-947-AUTO. The only hard part is figuring out which way is easier.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think he nailed it. The writer who just said Ryu is going to be the starter for the All-Star game, that's what this is about.
Right.
No doubt. Because you don't usually move a guy who's pitching so well.
Why
would you move his rotation spot, right?
Right. All right, our next guest, and it's very timely considering the injury that Kevin Durant suffered in the NBA Finals. He is a former NBA player and has really distinguished himself in his post-career as an author, as an activist, a good friend of mine as well. It's Etan Thomas. What's happening, man?
How you?
Oh, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Man, welcome to the Odd Couple. Etan, you wrote a great article that appeared in The Guardian. It's called Kevin Durant Shouldn't Have Been Playing, period. Athletes need their own doctors. Kind of explain the gist of what your article's about.
Well, I wanted to go down the list and spread and talk about some things that I've seen personally while I was playing, mostly with the Washington Wizards, of just trainers and doctors misdiagnosing players, players being kind of forced out there and injuring themselves even more. When I text a lot of my different teammates and started asking them, kind of just refresh my memory a little bit because I remember some of it. And they're like, oh, no, this specifically happened to me, and I hurt my knee worse. And you know what I mean? Deshaun Stevenson told me how they had him doing ice and stem, and he really needed back surgery. I mean, everybody had a story. And then after this article, a lot of different guys started reaching out to me, like saying, yes, this is a widespread problem that's happened way too long, and something needs to be done. So it was bigger than KD. You know what I mean? And his issue is something that's a real problem in the NBA.
Well, that was the interesting thing. You brought up several athletes. I mean, it wasn't just Deshaun Stevenson, as you mentioned. I mean, you named like 4 or 5 guys who had this happen to them.
Right. And that was just 4 or 5 guys that I played with that I remembered. I mentioned Richard Hamilton, Kwame Brown, Jarvis Hayes. I just started going down the whole list. And then I mentioned other cases as well, and how this happened. This almost happened to Kawhi, and how much criticism he received, and the media was kind of on him, like, oh, what is he? He's a prima donna, and he's acting like this. Had all kind of harsh words for him. And, he kind of stood strong and was like, no, I'm going with what my doctor said, and I'm not healthy to play. And it just speaks to a bigger issue. And one of the things that I said in the article is like, I felt that the Warriors kind of RG3'd him. You know what I mean? I'm out here in D.C., and, we have a long memory of what happened to RG3. And, it's a lesson for younger players as well to know not to let anyone pressure you into playing, but also something needs to be done because players should not be in that position.
But I've been saying this for a while, and I think your article, backs me up, is that, and Chris and I, we don't agree on a lot of stuff, but we agree on this. There's a conflict of interest with the doctors who work for the team.
Definitely.
Their job is to get you back on the field, and if you're one of those doctors who don't put players back on the field or the court, they get another doctor. They'll say, this guy can't get anybody out there.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I do believe you have to have independent doctors and not team doctors. And I don't think that doctors are doing it deliberately, but they know that their job is to get people out there, even if they have to, err on the side of the player being injured.
Well, the thing is, and the thing is, though, that the NFL is 10, 15 times worse than what we're talking about right here because they have non-guaranteed contracts. So basically, if they don't play through their injuries and their pains and things like that are going on, they'll get cut. So that's a whole different animal in itself. But with the NBA, I mean, it's a matter of the doctors are employees of the team, not of the players. You know what I mean? And that's really what it boils down to. And every player has had a situation. I mean, you ask 50 players in the league, they'll all tell you of times where they've been pressured to play when they were hurt. And it's people are saying, well, KD, he's his own person. He wanted to play. It shouldn't be up to him with what he wants. Of course, we're athletes. Athletes are going to want to play.
Your job description is you're a player. You
yes,
play. That's what you do.
Right, but we're not medical doctors, so they shouldn't be cleared to play.
And the other one we saw Isaiah Thomas, because it was the playoffs, try to get out there too quickly.
The one from Boston.
Right, from Boston, and it cost him.
It did. It cost him a lot.
Probably cost him a $100 million contract.
Well, close to it.
Right, and then as soon, and the messed up part of it is, he had all the stuff that was going on with losing his sister and everything like that, and he came back and played, and they traded him that summer.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I tell, I coach my son's AAU team, and I tell them all the time, listen, you're not doing yourself any favors by playing if you're hurt. You're not. You know what I mean? There a lot of times, a lot of high schools, colleges, they have this pain, is weakness leaving your body type of mentality and things of that nature. And I was like, that's not taking care of yourself. I use RG3 as an example all the time, and now I'm going to be using Kevin Durant as an example all the time because he whether he wanted to play, whether it was he was being pressured by other teammates, whether he was pressuring by the people on social media, whoever it was, he shouldn't have been out there.
I'm glad you said teammates because it was part of them too. They started leaking those little things like, we're confused, we're frustrated, you know what I mean, about what was going on with KD. Right. And you can't tell me that he didn't hear that and start to feel like, you know what, I know it's the finals and there's only 3 games left and I need to get out there for my teammates. But if you're hurt, you're hurt.
Well, that's what happened with Kawhi Leonard. I mean, you had
Right.
Popovich, who's probably one of the most respected coaches in the NBA, kind of saying little things here and there in different interviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, his group doesn't think that he's healthy enough, even though our team doctors cleared him. Like little things like that are leaking out. You had, you know, Tony Parker kind of questioning something, and you know, another teammate says a little something. So it was an atmosphere where I always said, listen, I understand why he took the stance he did, why he didn't want to come back after that. Like, would you want to come? It's like when I tell people, if you've seen the movie, I might be dating myself now, but if you've seen the movie Any Given Sunday,
Yep.
right? So Any Given Sunday, and they basically said, listen, this person needs, you tell him that he's able to play, this person cannot play. Period. Don't even matter what the test results say or the medical examinations say, we need this person to play.
It's the Odd Couple. We're joined by Etan Thomas, played 10 years in the National Basketball Association. Etan, you presented a good solution, and it wasn't just every player get your own doctor, but tell us about the solution you presented. And then I believe you were active with the Players Association when you played.
Right.
So tell me about if you think that is realistic or that's something that the union might try to put into place.
Well, talking around after the article or before the article about everything that was going on, there's a lawyer by the name of Marlon Ampry, and we talked about a solution of the Players Association kind of assembling a group of independent doctors and specialists, with no connection to the teams whatsoever, and they can provide second and third opinions when injuries happen, or a different doctor that the player is comfortable with, but for it to be commonplace for a player to get a second or third opinion. Now, there's some places like the NFL, they don't like you to get second opinions. They don't, like I said, the NFL, we could do an entire different segment on just the NFL.
Right.
Well, that's a whole different thing, and then they don't have medical coverage after 5 years in the league. When you look at their CBA, it is criminal.
Yes,
it is
I
absolutely
agree.
criminal.
It's absolutely horrible. But sticking with the NBA, this is something that I think I'm going to present it to the Players Association. I'm going to present it to the NBA. This is a viable solution to this issue. You know what I mean? I mean, and it's an issue that can't be just kind of ignored any longer, especially with this KD incident. And it's interesting because when Mark Jackson said it during the game, when Klay Thompson went down, he said, "Oh, they sent him right to the locker room, right?" And he said, "Okay, I wonder if that would have been played out differently if the KD situation didn't happen."
Right.
He said it. He said it on national TV.
Yep. That's truth. All right, Etan Thomas, 10-year NBA veteran. Great stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me on. Much respect to you both, too.
Thank you. Yep, brother. All right, peace. It's our most controversial segment of the week, Shop Talk, next. Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
If you haven't heard,
You ready for it?
we're all over the place.
You know how to find me, homie.
Your phones, Echoes, Chromes, podcasts, cars, computers, monasteries, toilets, iHeart.
Toilets?
You get the idea.
Okay.
We're all over the place. We're Fox Sports Radio.
We know with the right combination of sunny days, picnics, and trips to the lake, some summers can last a lifetime. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, where you can save big during our Star-Spangled Summer Sale. Like select men's Henley shirts and logo t-shirts for under $10 each, and a Coleman 48-quart cooler for under $20. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
Fox Sports Radio. Now, here's a taste of something that you missed from the Doug Gottlieb Show.
So what the Lakers' newest plan is, maybe this is plan A, maybe this is plan C, maybe this is plan Z. I don't know. But the plan is, all right, we got Anthony Davis, we got LeBron James. Now let's try and go get another superstar. Get rid of every other piece of salary that we have. All right, they're still playing Luol Deng's stretched provision contract. It's like $5 million for the next 3 years, counting next year. And they have like 2 other Mo Wagner, last year's first-round pick. That, again, if you are going to trade Mo Wagner, it's not because they don't like Mo Wagner. It's because it's a first-round pick. He's got guaranteed money that's on the books, and he might or might not play. Why do you want that? I mean, they're going to need name tags. They're going to need name tags for the first month with the LA Lakers. Wait. Who are you? Like a completely new team. It's fascinating. So should they go after a 3rd star? Yeah. I mean, look, what the hell? You're already in. Go all in. Do I think it works? I have no idea. Because I don't know what LeBron has left. I have no idea. There were times last year, even before injury, that he was not moving the way that he used to move. Now, he could make up for it offensively because he's got more skill, more shooting skill than he used to have when he was in Cleveland and definitely used to have when he was in Miami. But he could also make up for other people's weaknesses defensively because he was so crazy athletic back before he was a knockdown three-point shooter. He had this weird step back that he shoots down. But
to get the rest of what Doug said, podcast it by searching The Doug Gottlieb Show. And as always, you can hear The Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah, let's go.
It's the Ben Maller Show.
This is how we do it.
Here's the way I look at Andrew Wiggins. He's a one-trick pony. And when he's not scoring, he doesn't do anything else to help you win a basketball game. Like the idea that when he came into the NBA, he was thought of as a terrific defender and a solid rebounder. He's not those things anymore, right? He's not. Not in the NBA. He hasn't been. Maybe early on, I don't recall, but I know he was a very good offensive player early in his career. Now, the second thing, if the T-Wolves, if their new GM, this hotshot prodigy of and protege of Daryl Morey, can find a sucker to take Andrew Wiggins, then they ought to give him some kind of statue. If you're trying to trade Andrew Wiggins, you got to be like a real estate agent. You're selling location and you're selling potential.
Say my name.
Ben Maller.
You're damn right.
Weeknights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is the Dan Patrick Show.
I don't think this deal gets done with the Lakers with their previous GM, Del Demps. You know, once again, New Orleans didn't have a lot of leverage. They had to trade him. But the question is, what are you going to get? Are you going to get dollar for dollar? And I don't know if they got dollar for dollar value here, but they came pretty close. And if I'm a New Orleans fan, you know, the great news is I have Zion. You lose Anthony Davis, all right, I got a great player. We got to see him. He's gone. Didn't want to be here. Zion's coming to town. And you are going to sell the place out. And now you're going to be relevant. You weren't relevant with Anthony Davis. When's the last time you said, Pelicans are on, I'm going to watch them? Now, this is what's strange. If you could get Zion to put up Anthony Davis's numbers, wouldn't you go, oh, my God?
The Dan Patrick Show.
Oh, man, is it fun.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Sweetheart.
We say a lot of things.
Big, major stories on your way.
Some good.
You look like you want to cry for joy.
Some way, way out there.
Proving that they are insane.
But you trust us.
They fall for what's cool, what's hip, what's lit.
Good or bad.
You're going to remember these names.
We deliver the sports and entertainment. All day, every day.
I'm with you.
Just listen. On Fox Sports Radio. Follow along as real first responders answer real emergency calls. Don't miss an all-new First Responders Live.
It's reality TV like you've never seen.
After a new Master Chef, Fox Tonight.
At Farmers Insurance, we know the sound of a perfect hot air balloon landing. And a less than perfect one. Seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers.
We are Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
I ride when the pain comes. It's all right, I can't complain. No, the sun's shining down on me, yeah.
All right, it's the Odd Couple, Chris Broussard, Rob Parker. It's time for Shop Talk.
I ride when the pain comes.
Ain't nobody exempt in the barbershop. You know that. Ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
Now, it's Shop Talk.
Yes, sir, it is Shop Talk, the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. We normally do this on Fridays, but with Rob Parker taking a vacation day, very selfish of him.
Parker? I got stuff to do.
We're going to do it here on Wednesday, and this question came up organically during one of the commercial breaks. You know, Rob Parker frequents the gentlemen's clubs.
What?
So here's the question. Now, Rob's single, so it's okay, but let's say...
I'm trying to put these young girls through school. Go ahead. Yes, Big Daddy.
Let's say a married man such as myself or Chris Broussard wanted to go. Is it okay for a married man to go to the strip club, or a woman, a married individual?
Well, look, I don't believe it's okay, period. But that's my Christian beliefs. I don't go to strip clubs. If I was single, I wouldn't go. But I can't hold everybody to that standard unless they claim to be a Christian.
I'm a Christian.
I think we got to read the Bible.
Okay.
I think that, no, I don't think a married person should go, because I think your wife is not, it's just disrespectful to your wife.
You're not doing anything.
If you put yourself in her position, would you mind her going watching a bunch of dudes naked dance and give her lap dances all up in her face? Would you mind your wife doing that? Because I wouldn't want my wife doing that. Would you, Rob?
I don't have a problem if she wanted to go out. Just like I don't think it's the end of the world.
So if she goes to a strip club, go ahead.
It is. I don't think it's the end of the world.
Nobody says the end of the world.
For a guy to go out and look at the sights and get a nice piece of steak and a meal at the strip club and be with a couple of buddies. It's just a night out. It's just a fun time.
What about
Nobody's
her?
having sex. Nobody's breaking your marital. There's nothing like that going on. It's just.
What about put her in your position?
I have no problem if she wanted to go to
swinging all up in her face.
What you mean swinging?
I'm saying you get lap dances, right? My ball's gonna be swinging. You get lap dances. She getting lap dances. He got more to offer than you. How you feel about that?
I don't have a problem with it. Hey, Alex, what about you?
All right, Rob. Well, I think
I was stuttering once I put
Yeah.
her in
No,
his position.
I don't have a problem with it.
I feel like I have something that's not so common anymore, and that's common sense. I feel that if you want to go get some sights and sounds, just go to the gym, go work out. There's a lot of sights anywhere. Go to the mall. You can find a lot of this stuff. But going out of your way to a strip joint, especially when you're married, what kind of portrayal does that show?
It's a legal
You're
business.
looking for something. You're opening a door to something else that shouldn't have been open.
I'm just looking. I'm not touching.
There's a lot of places to
Believe
look.
it or not, it actually going to take away from your
Trust.
pleasure you enjoy
Rob
with
G,
your wife.
Well, you've been to a strip club since you've been married.
If I got me a nice pair of Jordans, but then I'm always in the store looking at all the other Jordans and I'm wishing I could have them, that's going to make me less happy with the Jordans I got.
I'm happy about the Jordans that I didn't get, even though I won the bet.
If it's a bachelor party, I got nothing against it. It's a
right,
whole
so
group
that's
thing.
the question. If let's say you're not going by yourself, but you're going with somebody else, is that
It's
okay,
a
Alex?
bachelor party.
I mean, it depends. Like, is it just you and one other dude? I mean, is it a group of guys?
What's the difference?
It's
I
a
don't
group
think that
of
makes any
right.
difference.
So you say a bachelor party, you wouldn't go if they're going to the strip club.
I've had family members have bachelor parties with strippers there, and I don't go.
Note to self: do not invite Chris to the next bachelor party.
So if
That's
I get
more for me.
if I get remarried, you're not coming to my bachelor party.
My commitment to my God. Huh?
Okay.
No,
so you wouldn't come.
I'll be your boy. We hang out. We
But
go.
you're not
I'll
going
take
to
you out
that.
to dinner
Well-
by yourself. But nah,
Well,
I ain't going to no strip.
Chris, when Rob comes back engaged following the Golden Girls trip, and you're not going to go to the bachelor party, will you at least contribute to the bachelor party?
Going to that
Are you going to get us a couple $100?
Hey,
we're going to need $71 in
We
ones.
want to hear your viewpoint.
He just
you
said it.
married. What was your viewpoint?
I will go, but I will not get any dancing. I'll go if it's part of a group, if it's a
What's the
bachelor
difference?
party.
and your wife doesn't mind, does she?
why
She
won't
I
you go solo?
I went to my wife's brother's bachelor party.
No, why won't you go solo? What's the difference?
I don't need to go anymore.
I went once. I'm good. I don't need to go again.
So you went once? How much?
Yeah, I'm done.
How many singles did you lay out that
I didn't put any money down. It was
He said he built a house. He had it going across the
That's
pole.
why you didn't have a good time, because you were cheap at the strip club. And if I was a chick, I wouldn't dance for you either.
They kept asking. I kept saying no.
All right.
Strip clubs alive and well. Magic City.
Yo, it's
Magic
Worship Wednesday.
City.
Stop that.
Magic
Stop
City.
that.
New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline is engineered with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. It's sort of like having ninjas protect your engine. That helps keep your engine running like new. New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. It's fuel for thought in engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline.
Academy Award winner Kevin Costner stars in Paramount Network's Yellowstone.
All the angels are gone, son. There's only devils left.
Season 2 of cable's #1 new drama premieres tonight at 10.
Walls are closing in on all sides. We're fighting to survive.
Loyalty, morality, not part of the equation.
We're about to find out how big a role you play in this family, son. You understand what I'm asking? Oh, my God.
Yellowstone Season 2 premieres tonight at 10/9 Central on the new Paramount Network.
Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
I don't get everybody who is criticizing the wealth of, quote, assets that the Lakers gave up to get Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is in the middle of his prime. He's got 5 more years left at least of being a superstar in the NBA. Probably a little bit more, but he's got at least 5 more years. And I've seen people go crazy over what the Lakers had to give up to get Anthony Davis. Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, the number 4 pick in this draft. All right, the 2021 first-round pick if it's a top 8. Other than it goes to the 2022. They swap first-rounders in 2023. Lakers give up a pick in 2024. Or potentially the Lakers' unprotected 2025 pick. So basically the Lakers are giving up the chance of losing their first-round pick all the way between now and basically 2025. But it's not every year, and it's not that they give up their first-round pick every year. It's the Pelicans have the right to swap. Do we want the first-round pick now? Is it not? So what you've given up is basically Ingram, Ball, Hart, the number 4 pick this year, and probably 3 other first-round picks you're going to wind up seeing. It sounds like a lot when you realize this isn't the NFL draft. People treat the NBA draft like it's the NFL draft, and it's not. You'd give up Ingram, Ball, and Hart in a minute to get Anthony Davis, right? They've been trying to get Lonzo Ball, gone. They've been trying to get rid of him. He's got injury problems and LeVar Ball causing problems. Brandon Ingram has not become the player they thought he was going to be. Josh Hart is a nice player, but...
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. You're listening to The Doug Gottlieb Show. It is time.
What's the price of something that's priceless? Apparently, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, number 4 pick, bunch of first-round picks. I could easily say that they overpaid. But what is the cost of not getting Anthony Davis? Because if you don't get Anthony Davis, you probably don't get any free agents. And if you don't get any free agents, now you're left with an abject disaster. So the NBA in the last week has been turned on its head. From Kevin Durant tearing his Achilles tendon, which changed the free agency pool, to Klay Thompson tearing his ACL, again, changing the free agency pool, to Anthony Davis ending up in L.A., changing the free agency pool and changing the Lakers' outlooks. Like, completely different league in 1 week.
The Doug Gottlieb Show.
I mean, that's insane.
Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Signing off. All systems are go.
Even though he does the overnights.
With that being said,
this guy is always bringing a ray of sunshine to your day.
You loser.
He's Ben Maller.
That is the celebration of a champion. Hallelujah.
And he's here for you.
It is really all about me.
Oh!
It's the Ben Maller Show, and you can listen right here. 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Uh-huh.
What are you waiting for? Go, go, go. We're going to give you some names.
You ready?
Dan.
Oh, yeah, that guy's back again.
Paulie.
He's going to be the best of his position.
Seton.
Just to play in devil's advocate here.
McLovin.
We're just friends here.
And Fritz.
Fritzy, I have complete confidence in you. Are you ready?
No.
Those names work on the Dan Patrick Show. You can hear all those names right here.
You know what I said, kiss my asterisk.
What? Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports trending now.
Great pitchers duel in D.C. right now. It's the second of a doubleheader. Nationals and Max Scherzer ahead of the Phillies and Jake Arrieta 1-0 in the bottom of the sixth. So far, it is, yes, Scherzer pitching after he broke his nose in batting practice yesterday, bunting. Scherzer, 6 innings of work and 7 strikeouts. And Washington did win the opener of the Twin Bills 6-2 over the Phillies. Tigers holding on 77-5 at Pittsburgh. That's top of the sixth. Mariners 8-2 over the Royals, bottom of the seventh. And Mike Trout has hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam. 7-5 now to the bottom of the fifth. Angels leading at Toronto. Mets at Braves tied 2-2 in the top of the sixth. Has your check engine light come on recently? Then check out the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help you troubleshoot the likely cause. Get in the zone. AutoZone, Women's World Cup. England 2-0 over Japan. Argentina tied Scotland 3-3.
Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple. One guy's married, one guy is divorced, one guy has no kids, one guy has 2 beautiful daughters, one guy went to college in a cornfield in Ohio, one guy went to an Ivy League school in the big city, one guy spends his Sunday morning seated in the pew.
Does this seem weird to anybody else?
The other spends it throwing money at the pole. Can these 2 sports writers share a radio show without driving each other crazy? From the Geico studios of Fox Sports Radio, here's the Odd Couple, Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Odd couple, Chris Broussard, Rob Parker coming to you live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in your car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. We just got some breaking news in. They have now announced the cast for Space Jam 2, LeBron's new movie. So what is it?
All future Lakers, Chris Broussard. Future Laker, Anthony Davis.
That's a Laker fan talking, Rob G.
Future Laker, Klay Thompson. Future Laker, Damian Lillard. And future Lakers, Diana Taurasi.
So read the names.
Okay.
You confusing me.
You want the specific.
Yeah,
according to Shams Charania from the Athletic. Sources, Space Jam 2 starring LeBron James, expected to feature key roles for Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson, and WNBA stars Diana Taurasi, Nneka Nwuke. Is that how you say her name? I'm not sure. She's on ESPN.
No idea.
And then her sister, Chinny, who's also on ESPN.
Okay.
All right, so we got the list now. Should I buy my tickets? I'll tell you how excited I am about Space Jam 2.
Why is this?
Dude, really?
What? Oh. You can't like Space Jam 2? Your LeBron James disdain just goes way too far.
I love this. Do your own movie. Why are you making a remake?
Oh, he's the first person to make a remake?
No, but you're trying to get out of it.
You ever heard what is
he always says, I'm chasing a ghost, but all he does is go behind Michael Jordan. I don't understand it. Yes.
Did Michael Jordan go to different teams?
My goodness.
Did Michael Jordan create
You know what I'm
teams?
talking about.
I'm just saying, did Michael Jordan
Well, those are other bad things that
movies?
LeBron did, but I don't know this Space Jam.
Did Michael Jordan create shows? That's all I'm asking.
It's going to be a bomb. This is going to be a bomb.
All he does is copy Michael Jordan. Come on.
My goodness. Oh, I'm chasing a ghost. You're the one who said that, Michael Jordan.
What did LeBron do?
I'm wearing number 20. Wait a minute.
Blow you off for an interview one time?
I'm wearing number 23. Oh, no, I don't want to be. I'm not being compared to Michael Jordan. Yes. Yes.
He's wearing his
from
number
the very beginning.
Up idolizing Michael Jordan.
But you didn't have to do that. You could do your own thing when you get into the league, and the only reason he had that 6 is because Michael Jordan's number was retired in Miami.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with him wearing the number 23.
You going to go see that? You want to buy your tickets now? You going to buy them early,
I'm going to go see it.
You going to take your family?
If I hear it's any good,
I'm not going to go. You didn't even go see that other
Uncle Drew, because I heard different reviews.
It was bad.
I'm going to watch Uncle Drew one day on the plane. If I get on the plane and has it on, I'm going to watch it.
Just make sure you have the barf bag there when you're watching it.
I don't know. But Space, why are you so down on Space Jam 2?
I don't know.
My goodness. You act like LeBron's the first person ever to do a remake. Did you go see Shaft 2?
Nope.
You didn't see?
Nope.
You really didn't see Shaft?
I saw Shaft.
You're not a moviegoer.
I'm not. I like movies, and I said, to me, there's only one movie, and I give it really big props and credit. To remake a classic movie and be able to do it well, and that's The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz. The Wiz stands alone on its own, even though if you had never seen The Wizard of Oz. That's how good The Wiz is.
Can we get some old school music?
What? I'm just saying.
For the old man telling the kids to get off his lawn.
What?
What a Wizard of Oz. It was a good movie. I like The Wizard of Oz.
It's a classic, a good movie.
I like The Wizard of Oz.
It's a classic movie.
And The Wiz was very good.
And The Wiz was good on its own
They
right.
were both good.
They were.
They were both good. Okay, anyway.
What is this?
This is some old school music for you.
Is it?
Wait for the first line right
for
here.
you and your 80-year-old date on the Golden
Oh, yeah.
Girls cruise.
What'd
is
you
that
say?
Paul Simon?
No.
Who
No,
is
this
that,
is
Led
Neil.
Zeppelin?
No, this is Neil Young.
Neil Young, okay.
Don't stop
This
calling
was a
me
good
old.
song, though.
This is a
Oh,
great
it's Rob's song right here.
All right, here we go. The Lakers, of course, made this huge blockbuster trade and got Anthony Davis. And now you're starting to see stories about what people around the league thought about the trade. Now, obviously, you know, everybody knows it was a great move for the Lakers to get Anthony Davis. Nobody's disputing that. However, according to Howard Beck, who wrote a story in Bleacher Report today, a lot of executives around the league think that the Lakers overpaid for Anthony Davis. Here's one quote. The Lakers overpaid by a significant margin, given the conditions. That's a longtime team executive. Here's another one. Experienced front office versus inexperienced. David Griffin experienced, Rob Parker inexperienced. Another one. The Lakers
Rob Pelinka, you meant.
Did I say?
You said Parker.
Oh, did I say Parker?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Rob Pelinka.
Parker.
The Lakers totally screwed up the timing of this. Clearly. That's what another GM said. And here's one more. Let's just wait to see who lost the negotiation. What we can say with certainty is all the pressure surrounding Rob Pelinka 1,000% creates pressure for him to deliver on something like this. And when you're under that sort of pressure to deliver something like this, you're in a disadvantageous negotiating position. Rob, do you think the Lakers overpaid for Anthony Davis?
Yes, but they had no choice. You have an aging star in LeBron James. You can't wait around for AD to come back, come after to start LeBron's third year. So I'm not buying that you're going to give up another year and keep the kids around. So they had no choice but to do whatever they had to do to get this deal done. So, but the only part I will say is I'm not a big guy when it talks about the draft picks because I've just seen it. I know a lot of people put a lot of stock in it. So that part I'm not that crazy about. I think that the Lakers really were overbarreled. They really wanted him, and they knew that LeBron wanted him. And I'm not mad at them for making that trade if you are trying to win while LeBron is still there. You wait another year.
No.
You can't. You couldn't wait another year.
You had to get him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I do agree with you that, yeah, they overpaid. I thought and I agree with you as well that draft picks have been woefully overrated the last several seasons. However, I do think in this case, had they given them Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, the number 4 pick this year, that should have been enough. They didn't to throw in the 2 future first-round picks. I do think took it over the top, and they overpaid. And where I disagree with you, Rob, is that I don't think the Lakers were in a desperate situation. I think the Lakers actually had the leverage.
No, I don't mean no. We're not talking about
no. But my point, because they had the leverage, I don't think they had to throw in those other 2 picks.
So why did they do it?
because I think they messed up.
No, but if you didn't have to do it, you wouldn't have done it, Chris, if you really had the leverage you're talking about.
Inexperienced, like one GM said. From experienced
the reason
versus
was
inexperienced GM.
The reason was you got
what? Who was giving New Orleans a better offer?
You got LeBron James. You were afraid that at the last minute somebody would come in and do something.
You lost the game of chicken.
Okay,
that's what it was.
Well, but that's what it was. And
you could have waited a week. The New Orleans had nowhere to send Anthony Davis.
They could have held on to him.
Really?
Yeah, they could have.
No, they couldn't have. They couldn't have. David Griffin knew you cannot ruin all the positive energy of Zion Williamson coming to your franchise with this cloud hovering over your franchise of
if you said
Anthony
you didn't want
Davis
it, I'm just saying they wouldn't have
you
to.
You could not bring Anthony Davis to training camp.
But they didn't have to give him away.
The longer time would have went on, the less his value would have been on the open market.
I just disagree.
If February, you wouldn't have got
Chris,
anything.
Your point doesn't make any sense.
How does it not make any sense?
Because you're saying the Lakers have the leverage, but they gave up 2 more picks.
That's because the inexperienced front office didn't know what it was doing.
So they didn't know they had the leverage. So is that what you're saying?
No, they didn't. Obviously.
Oh, they didn't know they had leverage.
Yeah,
How?
I'm saying
You're telling me there's no other team to trade with, but they didn't know they had leverage. I'm asking you.
Name the team.
So why'd they give them the picks? They could have let the New Orleans sweat it out.
So Rob,
I'm asking you. How could you have leverage and then give away more players?
Since you're Mr.
It doesn't make sense.
Since you're Mr. Metaphor and simile and analogy and all that,
that means I'm smart.
Tell me. So you're saying every team that makes a trade does it for the right reasons. It makes the smart
You're
move.
missing my point.
No, your point doesn't make sense.
It does make sense.
The Lakers made look. It's
the Lakers have leverage, but they gave up too much.
Yes.
How?
They panicked.
Panicked over what?
They could have waited
what other
closer
trade?
to the draft.
What trade was on the table that they panicked over is what I'm asking you. What were they panicking over?
They panicked and offered too much. They could have played a game. They were playing a game of chicken, and they blinked first. That's as simple as that. That has nothing to do with if they knew they had the leverage, why they do it? They blinked.
Blink means that there was somebody else there that they were afraid of that was in front of them.
Well, now
they didn't have leverage.
Maybe
then.
New Orleans was bluffing them.
Okay, well then
which you can do.
Well, all I'm saying is that you didn't have leverage.
What was Boston offering?
I don't
know.
They
weren't giving up more than the Lakers.
I don't know what
I didn't see. I didn't see New York even have to offer.
I didn't even see it.
Brooklyn have to offer?
I didn't see it on the other deals.
Well, look at their rosters. You can tell they don't have enough.
And
the
shame
Lakers
on
were
them.
The only team that they were bidding against themselves.
It doesn't make any sense that they have leverage, but they gave away more than they had to.
So you're saying no GMs ever make deals that don't make sense?
I didn't say that. I just don't believe.
Let me ask you this, Rob. Why did Houston give Chris Paul the 4-year, $160 million deal? When they knew he was old and injury prone.
Because they thought they wanted another star, and they thought that's what it was going to take to get him.
But they knew they didn't want to give it to him. Why they had all the leverage. They didn't have to give it to him. Why did they give it to him?
No, Chris, that doesn't make any sense.
Because you're saying every GM makes a deal
I didn't say that
makes sense.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
I don't believe in what you're saying. You're saying that the Lakers clearly had the leverage, but they gave up more than they had to. That makes no sense. If I have leverage, I'm gonna give you less. I'm not going to give you more if I have leverage.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No.
What do you mean no?
Let me ask you this.
I'm going to give you more.
Mr. Analogy. Who had the leverage in the Houston Rockets negotiations with Chris Paul last summer? Who else was giving him 4 years, $160 million? Anybody?
Anybody? But my point is
the Rockets had the leverage, but they gave him more than they had to.
No, but
that's a prime example
of
what I'm talking about.
No, it's not.
Why is it not?
Because they thought that he was going to put them over the top.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
I was reporting last summer that they were hesitant to do the deal.
So why'd they do it?
Because they made a wrong move.
Come on, that don't even make sense.
It does. People make mistakes.
They had to believe that he was going to put them over the top. That's why they would go out and make that deal.
But they knew it was a bad deal going forward.
But if they could win a championship, they would live with that contract, Chris. You know it.
They had the leverage. They could have said, "You got 2 good years left. We think we'll win it next year."
Because they knew
we'll
they weren't.
Because
they knew that they weren't going to get him. He wasn't going to take that deal.
Why not? Well, who else was giving him that money?
Somebody else would have come to the table.
Who?
There's always somebody. I don't know who's else.
All right, then don't give me.
I
don't know.
I'm just telling you.
You up there questioning my logic?
Your logic makes no sense.
I don't know. You can't give me anything other than I don't know.
No, I'm telling you your logic. You can't have leverage and then make a bad deal.
My logic does make sense.
No, it doesn't.
People make mistakes, Rob. That's the logic. And the Lakers made a mistake in giving up more than they had to. And now they're trying to fix the mistake by getting more cap room. That's what it is. And you know that.
I don't know that.
Did the Lakers overpay in their trade for Anthony Davis? Rob agreed they overpaid. I said they overpaid. Now, it's still, you got to get Anthony Davis. I'm fine with it. But they didn't have to give up all the draft picks that they did.
All I'm saying to you is that you're overplaying where their leverage was. And I'm telling you,
no, I'm not.
With an aging star in LeBron,
can't name one team
they had to get him.
They were
getting him.
They were getting him.
They
you
were
didn't
desperate.
Think they'd get him in the first
They
place.
were desperate. You're bringing up another argument. Stick with the topic.
You didn't think
Stick
they'd
with
get
what
him
we're
in the
talking
first
about.
place.
You always got to go back. You're going
place.
backwards because you know you lost this conversation.
Oh, all right.
All right?
Okay.
Stick with the topic, damn it.
I wish you would. I wish you did win, so you would have won something this week. All right, we'll continue the conversation with you next. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.